Poquito más alto. Yeah. Perfect. Nice. That was great. This is not so good with video. Okay, we're live. Excellent. All right, guys. Well, happy Friday and welcome everybody. A bunch of new faces, a bunch of recurring faces. This is wonderful. Welcome to Paladora Co-Creation Campus here in Chemuil, Mexico. And welcome to our Co-Creating Regenerative Communities Workshop Series, where we are introducing the important topics to think about when taking an idea of community all through the phases of acquiring land, planning the community, today's topic which is marketing and outreach to share your idea of your community, and the future topics which will include permaculture, energy, human elements, and all the way down to preparing your final presentation. Oh, we just lost the tree behind us. That's okay. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. I'm just going to run it from YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, there's just going to be a delay from that and the videos, but that's fine. Okay, so co-creating regenerative communities. It takes a tribe to build a tribe, and this is what we realize more and more as we are finding projects around the world that are working to create communities and generally starting from zero, making it up as they go, when there are other people that have done it and have resources to share, experiences and knowledge to share, and that's our intention as Regen Tribe, the project that we started here in Mexico. We started a regenerative community in the jungle last year, an eco hotel that wanted to change its image. We created a community, it was wonderful. Now we're working with multiple land projects in the Tulum area to help them do the same. And we are coming from a tech background, so we are integrating tools to help this happen in a more effective manner. Speaking of technology, we have a recurring call for people to learn about crypto and the blockchain space. So we have a crypto coach, Andrew Hall, who will be sharing with us his course that is to engage people in the crypto space, because there are a lot of tools, one of which we discovered 2 workshops ago, how people can purchase land in Mexico through digital contracts and digital currencies. Andrew's going to walk through a short summary of the course that he teaches, and he's going to share a bit with us about one of the topics today. So, Andrew?
Cool. Thank you, Oscar.
Yeah, welcome.
Hi, everyone. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Super good. Cool. Great to see you all today. So yeah, my name is Andrew, and you can also go by Crypto Love Ninja. It's my Instagram, my website, my brand, my YouTube, and my podcast. So I'm getting everything that's in here all out in different places, and yeah, a lot of it's related to crypto. A lot of it is also related to my own journey and my own perspective on life and this whole thing that is evolving in front of us. So I'm passionate about just sharing that and being vulnerable with my process and kind of digging into other people's vulnerability and sharing and showing what's so similar in those areas that we all share. So yeah, they asked me to share today a part of my crypto course. So yeah, I do. I've been in crypto since 2017. Kind of came in the space just as an enthusiast. Like understood blockchain. I was like, oh cool, this could do a lot for our governing system. This is really where I saw the benefit, because I just kind of came out of this whole awakening of like the shadow governments and all the conspiracies and all of that. And then I found blockchain. I'm like, oh cool, this could actually solve a lot of the issues that we have through lack of transparency in our governing systems. But it took me a while. It took me like 2 or 3 years of being in crypto to actually find my passion and my purpose, and then also break free of like the matrix system, which I actually received a beautiful text message from my mother like an hour ago that was basically saying that how proud she is of me of breaking through the slave system at my age without doing 40 years of working a job and retiring, and then you're free, right? Which is just very humbling to just have that reminder of like where I come from, and the life that we're all blessed to live today is like, it's not the normal for most people. And this is just to be able to be in a place like this is a dream for a lot of people. So that was very grateful, and I was very grateful to receive that. So yeah, crypto is what provided that for me. Not that I did everything perfect and made millions, but it was enough that I could take the few $100s I was making a week and pay my expenses, and then put some of it aside to then compound that and be able to live off that for the last few years. And then from doing that and coming here and teaching people and telling people my story, people wanted to learn how I did it and how I figured all this stuff out. So that's when I created my coaching and consulting brand. And recently I have taken all the knowledge that I've been teaching and repetitively going through, and I put it into a digital course. So I have a full e-course that is basically like a 50,000 foot overview of the entire crypto space as it is today. It's constantly evolving, which is why I don't get into too many specific details in the course. Like if you want to, and I'll go into that. So yeah, by a show of hands, who here is pretty comfortable with their competence and their skills inside of crypto? They feel like they understand it, they feel like they have like a good portfolio, and they're good insight on what's really happening in the space. So 4, 5, 6.5, 7.5. Cool. So yeah, maybe this course would be of interest to some of you to get you to that place of everyone that just kind of showed their hands. So I think the way that I'm going to go through it, just my kind of style is just to improvise. But yeah, I think I'll just kind of go through the topics and then just kind of touch on each topic a little bit, and that will also help you kind of see like all the expansion of all the stuff. So the way I teach, I come from this higher perspective of everything that's going on in the macrocosm of all of it. So I like to share that in my teaching. So my first lesson is actually about the history of money and governments. I think it's really important to get people to the understanding of like how we actually got here. And I talked about this a little bit about this last week. I talked a little bit about that last week, and basically, just to sum it up, all of our entire monetary system that we currently have today was created for the purpose of controlling people. The very first money that was ever created was literally created to influence young men to go to war and kill other people. So this is a pretty big thing to understand, because this is like a lot of karmic debt that we're still tied to. And I think this is the biggest impact that crypto can have, is literally severing us from the karmic debt cycle of wars and genocide and banking and extractive banking from thousands of years. So I take people through that short lesson, and then I bring them into blockchain, which is also what I talked about last week, how kind of the blockchain and the ledgers work, and explaining just how the technology works, so you have an understanding of like why it's able to be transparent and why you can trust that if you put value into a crypto or to an organization, that value is tangibly, even though it's digital, it's still tangibly yours due to private keys and your relationship with how we interface with the blockchain. And so that gives us like the comparison of like, oh, this old system and all the fogginess that we really don't know what's going on, into a technology that's a framework for pure transparency. And then I take people through cryptocurrency, right? So we understand the framework and the actual technology behind it, and then we look at the applications on top of it. So it's like understanding how the internet works and how it's like a server, and then we can pull up a screen and we can access information that other people from around the world have collectively stored on the server. Blockchain is kind of the same thing, it's just distributed and then encoded. But then we look at the application. So I relate the application of a cryptocurrency basically to like a website, right? We have the HTTPS layer and the web, and then we have websites like Instagram, Facebook, Google, our personal branding websites, all those things. So that's the same thing that a cryptocurrency is. It operates kind of on top of the blockchain layer, but it's also a blockchain in itself. And then once we understand crypto, I think it's important to understand how they actually get valued, right? Like how does a cryptocurrency go from being 8 cents, how Bitcoin was in 2009, to being worth $40,000 today, how does that actually happen? And it's like a combination of, a tech startup mixed with a commodity, right? Tech companies, they start at basically zero, and they have investors come in and things like that. But the difference is that you can't actually do anything with the shares. It's just like a placeholder for a percentage of value that you have in this company. But with crypto, it's like the tokens actually have utility, similar to how oil or gold or something would have utility in our economy. So understanding that, I think, is important as well, because it's also good to understand that the value that we see, I think there's a speculative value and there's a utility value, and I think we're way on the speculation side right now, and it's going to take probably 10 years before we move closer to this utility value. Bitcoin specifically will always be speculative. It doesn't really have any utility other than sending money back and forth. Basically, the use case that Bitcoin has, every other cryptocurrency has, because it's a cryptocurrency. But not that Bitcoin will lose its value, but that's just an example, because there's nothing built on top of Bitcoin currently. They are actually working on smart contracts for Bitcoin, which would be very interesting. So once we understand like how cryptocurrencies are valued, then we understand, we go through, or I take people through how to actually transact and interact with the space, which is how we use our wallets and our exchanges, and the difference between like decentralized and centralized wallets, because even though crypto is a decentralized space, there's still a lot of centralization inside of crypto. To lean towards the most centralized, if you took Robinhood as the example, like you can buy crypto on Robinhood, but you actually never, I don't even think you can withdraw crypto from Robinhood. Maybe it's changed, but at one point you couldn't even withdraw it. You had to like actually sell it. Kind of like PayPal is, you can't, maybe they changed it too, but when I first saw crypto on PayPal, you can buy it and hold it in there, but you can't actually even withdraw it as a crypto. It's like you have to sell it and then you take care of it. But it's still centralized, right? It's still a centralized company holding, Binance, KuCoin, Coinbase, all these exchanges are, they're all centralized. So that's the process that I take people through, is to understand the difference of centralization and decentralization. What is actually sovereign? What do you actually own? And what wallets, what does that look like? Because it's very important to understand the sovereignty and the ownership of our economic value in all these different systems. So that's kind of like the first category. That's the first group that we go through, and then that can be done in like digitally, like through the e-course, and then we meet and have like a session, like breakdown one-on-one. Or if I do a group course, then I break it down in the group. Or I do the whole thing in person. So I have different options depending on how people like to learn. And then like the second module, I come back to the macro perspective, and I talk about the advancement of human consciousness. And this is not really my perspective. This is based on metaphysics, quantum physics, and the law of one. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but that's one of the, yeah. If you know it, you know it. So I teach about that very briefly and very, simplistically as possible. And then I also relate it to the yoga and the chakras and all the things, because it's all written with the same hands. And then I go through security. So we talk about like security measures, which are pretty simple. Don't give away your private keys. It's really important. Know the difference between your public key, private key. But all of this stuff, every time you set up a wallet, everything's pretty black and white. Like, do this, don't do this. This is very important. Save this. Like all the applications pretty much tell you that. But for people that are new to it, it's important to kind of reinforce and make sure that they do understand. Looks like I have everyone's attention still, so I'll keep going. And then I go through trading. So trading is where everyone's like, oh, I want to learn how to trade. I want to, master the charts. Yeah, okay. So that's when I started trading for several years, and I would probably have 4 times the amount of capital into my name if I never touched trading. But either way, it's a lesson, and I'm happy to show you everything that I know. Which the basics, right? And my goal with teaching people to trade is actually not to teach them how to become a day trader. I have my business partner who does that, who's an amazing full-time trader. My goal is to teach them how to trade in and out of currencies, right? If you own this currency, it goes up 50%, how do you actually move that into another currency and be comfortable and confident in doing that on DeFi exchanges and also centralized exchanges? So it's basically just the understanding of how to move your capital around in that type of ecosystem. So yeah, and then we go through psychology, so like understanding, which is very related to trading, investor psychology, which is basically just do the opposite of what the rest of the market is doing. And yeah, just understanding yourself is like an emotional thing, and I feel that I want to like lean more into this part of my own understanding, and also teaching about emotions and triggers and all the things that come up. Usually it's related to fear and scarcity and lack and all that other stuff that we tend to not want to look at. And then we look at stages of cryptocurrency. So then we go through and look at like actually the stages, like how crypto grows from its inception. This could also be very related to the stuff we talk about here, like how the project is an idea, and then they build a team, and then they market, and then they release a token, and then there's like the testnet and the betanet, just so we can kind of conceptualize at what point in a cryptocurrency stage might we want to jump in and become an investor or even a user. Which are two completely different things, and I also covered that as well as like the investor type. And this is just expanding even more so now with DeFi and gaming. There's so many different ways to interact in the crypto space, and I think most people don't even realize this, that there's so many ways to make money without actually just being a quote investor. A trader's one, an investor's one, a DeFi, someone that is basically DeFi is like providing liquidity, providing assets to an exchange or to a system, right? And then you get a revenue off of that. There's also crypto gaming, that you can now just play games and earn crypto money. There's NFTs that you can like flip NFTs. There's a whole industry inside of the NFT world where you can like become like a DeFi person by owning NFTs, that you get percentage of revenue from all these other NFT projects. It's wild. So there's a lot of ways, and we kind of go through those and figure out what really resonates with you, and also maybe what you catch on to quickest, because some people just don't look at charts, they don't want to look at numbers. But when you talk about like gifts and art and stuff like that, and now I can buy this piece of art which represents this DAO, and then this DAO buys these pieces of art, and now I get revenue from all of these things, it gets pretty cool and pretty interesting. It becomes like a fun little game. So that's kind of like strategies, stages and strategies that we look at, and then we go through DeFi, DAOs, of course. This is where I feel my purpose and passion comes in with the other things that I'm creating, and is DAOs and creating lands, conservation, community DAOs, and stuff like that, which is essentially just an organization that runs in a decentralized fashion, but typically speaking to blockchain. All of our transactions, all of our agreements, all of our engagements, communications are all registered in a blockchain. So it's transparent, it's always there, it's immutable, which is a big term. It means it's always there once it's put into the blockchain. It's a record that's able to be viewed. So DAOs are really powerful. We can fractionalize ownership, we can fractionalize revenue. We can do a lot with DAOs and NFTs. I think that this is the future of governance and the future of creating economic systems. Yeah, super powerful stuff here, and we're just we're just scratching the surface, I feel. Of course, NFTs is kind of its separate thing. Investing strategies. I'll also, towards the end, I'm not, obviously I'm not a financial advisor, but by the time you go through my course, I've talked a lot about the same cryptocurrencies, and you kind of see which ones are probably pretty valuable. And just to repeat that, I talked about it last week. Basically the layer ones, like if you want to just be sure that you've got a solid portfolio that's going to be good over time, like all the not all of them, but the major layer one blockchain, when I say layer one, that's a smart contract platform, like Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, Tezos, Phantom, I don't know, there's a lot of them. But basically that's like the internet layer, that's what everything's being built on. So that's what's going to hold all the value in the market cap. But yeah, so I help people structure a portfolio, create this like investing strategy for them, whether they, some people want to invest weekly, some people want to invest monthly, yearly. It's just like helping them figure out what that actually looks like for them and their lifestyle, and then what their expenses are, and if they have a business that they're actually looking to fund in 6 months or a year, or if they're just putting money away for several years for retirement. Everyone's is kind of in their own separate journey, so kind of help them get a picture of what is realistic with crypto, because a lot of people come in and they're like, oh, I can, it's crypto, so I have 10K, I'll be rich in 5 years. I'm like, slow down. Let's be realistic. Let's look at like 6 months. Let's look at the market. There's a lot of factors that go into it. Timing is like everything in crypto. One of my good homies, who was my roommate here in Bahia last year, he moved down, never been in crypto before. He got I think he got $10,000 from, he took it out of like the stock market or something. And the first coin he bought he put 4K in this coin called Graphs at like 60 cents. The next day, this coin goes to $2.50. And I was like, I'm not gonna take credit for it, but I just, because I never even made a decision like that. But I will take credit for telling him to pull it out once it did that move. I was like, all right, you need to take like 80% of that out and put it into some other coins. He's like, no, it's gonna keep going, it's gonna keep going. And then it ended up coming all the way back down to where he bought in. But yeah, timing is everything. Timing is so important. And if you get in at the right time and you make the money, the emotions come next, and it's like the greed and all that stuff. Or if you get in at the wrong time, then it's the greed and the fear and all the self-doubt that comes in. So there's a lot to come with that. So I also offer supports. After people go through my course, we have a digital community and the Discord app, which is not on there. And it's somewhere on the page, maybe not. I don't know, the website is like sort of new. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a Discord community where we have like 2 other coaches, so 3 including myself, that all bring their different things. I'm like crypto and yoga and breathwork, and then my business partner he brings the Forex stuff and trading, and he's like got the mindset. It's more of like the masculine side of like, understanding abundance, alchemy, things like that. And then we have a guy that comes in with like side hustles and budgeting and stock market, kind of more the 3D stuff. So yeah, we offer that to support people after they go through the course, so they have just a community to engage with. I think that's pretty much all the good stuff.
So to kind of just piggyback on the Discord conversation, Discord is a really great tool. How many people in here use Discord or have used Discord? Okay, cool. Discord is like a WhatsApp group on steroids, right? Instead of having just one long list of text, you can have individual rooms for specific topics. Andrew has one, we have one as well for community creation, and we'll pass around a QR code and invite everyone into our Discord channel. We'll be sharing Andrew's in there as well, and some links that we'll be sharing in today's presentations. Flo's pitch deck is one of those things we'll be sharing in there, so you guys can access it and see it. So we'll come by in a few minutes with that QR code for you guys.
Yeah, and what I can do, if you guys jump into their Discord, I can. So mine is it's a paid service. It's $129 a month, I believe. But what I can do is give a promo code for 30 days for free. Anyone can join the Discord, try it out, connect with me, connect with the rest of everyone, see all the resources. There's a ton of alpha in there that you can get. And yeah, and then as far as my course, if you follow me on Instagram at Crypto Love Ninja, shoot me a message, let me know that you were here, and I'll have something special for you if you're interested in my course. Yeah, any questions about anything that I have covered so far?
Yeah, the educational aspect of it. Which steps did you take to build the curriculum of your course to make sure that your community members understand like the whole process well, like more from course creation perspective?
That's a good question. I think I modeled after other courses that I've been through, like related to crypto and also not related to crypto, and then feedback from just working with people. When I first started, I didn't have anything. I was just like sitting down. I was like, okay, what do you need?
Okay.
Like, how do I do this? It's just like so figuring out what people need and like where the gaps are, and it's always an evolving thing too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. All right, so any questions about crypto, or generally maybe like how do I get started, or would you recommend any specific platform or tool?
I have a question, like what do you think about this whole virtual land situation happening and all the metaverse and crypto? Like how do you see this is going? And because for sure not all of them are going to take off, and most of them probably will just end up like themes or something like that. So where do you see this is going?
I definitely think that have you seen anybody seen the movie Ready Player One?
Yeah.
I think that's where we're going. I think that everything moves in waves and cycles. I think we're close to the top of this cycle of this metaverse thing. Maybe if we see like an extended bull market, then we'll see another big wave of the metaverse. It's just like the ICO phase. You know, everyone just created a bunch of ICOs. Now everyone's creating metaverses and blockchains, NFTs. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that's going to be around. Personally, I feel that we have a lot here in the physical 3D space that we could probably put our intention and energy into before the digital metaverse space. You know, but maybe there's some type of crossover and hybrid that we can create out of that.
Yeah, like connect maybe the digital with the real world and like give some value, like give back some value to the real world from the digital.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can do that through NFTs, right?
Yeah.
If you create this digital space and you're like, say we created a digital Tulum and then we fractionalized it in the metaverse, and we could take 50% of all the revenue that we created from that fractionalized cell and actually put it back into the physical space here. Yeah, I think it just comes down to intention. But I mean, yeah, it's just going to keep expanding. Like we'll have metaverses upon universes, and you'll be able to travel to galaxies and the metaverse. And
What are your personal projections for Bitcoin this year?
this year,
Yeah, let's say March through March 2023.
I think that depends on what happens at the level we are now. I think if we bounce from 40,000, if this support level holds, personally, my last, it's gonna sound crazy, but my last prediction based off of the past, which didn't actually account for any institutional and adoption rate, was 300K for the next top of Bitcoin. And that was just taking the previous cycle and the percentage and putting it on top of this cycle. But the timing is always uncertain, right? Like eventually it's going to get there, but it's like, do we actually know the timing? So I think if we, and then this is, great, leads me into a market update. So currently we're sitting at like 40,000. If we go, I think if we lose this support level, which I'm leaning towards we're going to lose it, I think we're going to hit like 24K, somewhere around there. And that could be very fast, within a week, or that could like actually drag out within a couple months. If that happens, then Bitcoin might be lucky to get back to 70,000 this time next year. But if this support holds, then we could likely see 150K by this time next year. But it really is hard to like say that confidently, just because of like the market is so unpredictable. But you just kind of have to go by week to week basis, and that's really what I analyze is the weekly charts, is looking at each chart. Yeah, so this is exactly what I did. It was like. I took this percentage, what year is this? Yeah, it was this percentage from here to here, which was like, I don't know, 13,000% or something. And then I just laid it on top of this low, and the next high would have been like 300K, which is like, it's right there. So it has one more cycle in there.
Yeah, this is a logarithmic chart. It measures kind of the rate of change of growth of Bitcoin. And based on this, right, I think this next increase was supposed to go up to 100,000 in like 2022. We're like somewhere here right now. It kind of pulled back a little bit, but there's different patterns. If you say things happen in cycles, that finance really tends to happen, just like empires happen in cycles. We're watching it with America right now. Empires usually last 300 years. America's at that point, and we're starting to see it's kind of a change of the guard to the Chinese empire. Bitcoin, they say, happens the same way, and so far it's been following this pattern, like pretty much to the T. So it maybe gives you a good expectation of where it could be close to the end of 2022, which is like right around here, right, close to 100,000, maybe somewhere there. So, right, not financial advice, but there's patterns that can be tracked and can maybe give you a pretty good clue of things. And it's interesting to watch how it really makes this little staggered curve, that, whatever. It's good to be aware of it, which is why we're sharing it with the community. New vehicles that can help empower and distribute wealth and give people tools to access different things in the world. So, super grateful you're sharing, Andrew.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I like that the numbers 100,000, 300,000 are there. And
yeah, right. Totally.
I didn't draw that.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of cycles, economic cycles, Ray Dalio has it's in his book, but if you just want to get a short clip of it, there's an amazing video on YouTube, and he's got a lot of them, but economic cycles, he talks about the macro cycle of like the 100-year cycle that an economy goes through, and then inside that there's like a 10-year cycle, and then inside that there's like a smaller, I think, 2-year cycle or something. But I see Bitcoin I see crypto as like this compressed version of the stock market, right? Like what happens in this, what the stock market took 100 years to do as far as its valuation increased, the crypto is doing in like 10 years. And that's because it's global, right? Anyone can access the market, and we have the information travels much faster just because of the internet, and it's a global distributed system. So. Who else would like to comment on something that I've shared so far? Speechless.
Speechless.
I'm going to segue from that point you just said. If anyone has questions, please help yourselves, or else I'm going to jump in.
Like if you don't have any clue about like blockchain and crypto and like the whole development of the technology, how would you advise to get started? From someone who's like totally new, so if I want to get into the space, like what is the best way to learn? Of course you have your course, you can follow a course, but to what I think like learning by applying, you learn the quickest mostly as well. So if someone wants to start really doing, what would you advise?
I mean, I would say book a call with me. gotta feed myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then in the call, I would go over, like, I would kind of get an understanding of like your technical skills and your goals. But I mean, really, just download a wallet, just try it out. You know, just like curiosity. Lead with curiosity, not with like, oh, I don't know how to do this and it's scary. Yeah, I would say. Download an Exodus wallet and a MetaMask, Phantom. I mean, there's a lot, so it can get complicated. It can feel a lot like very quickly, but yeah, download some wallets. Download create an account on KuCoin, an exchange that you can hook to your bank account and go from fiat into crypto. Spend a couple hours on YouTube going down some rabbit holes. And surrender. Yeah, that's probably what I'd say.
Thank you.
Was that a good answer?
I guess so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many resources. Like, there's so many different directions you can go, and there's so much to learn. It really depends on like what your intention is, how much time you have, like what your lifestyle looks like. You know, some people they're like, oh, I want to learn crypto and forex, and I don't have anything else going on in my life, so I can dedicate 5-6 hours a day to learning. Then I can take them through this whole process very, very quickly within like 2 weeks, and then release them to the entire space for them to kind of start to fish on their own, so to speak. But then some people have all these businesses going and they're traveling and they don't really have any time. And it's like, okay, well, here's some stuff to buy, and here's how this wallet works. Watch these videos, and we'll set up a call when you go through these resources, and we'll go through everything together and answer any questions and explain any gaps. So there's a lot to do. But yeah, just the simple thing to do is understand yourself, your emotions, and just get started with a wallet. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, Andrew, thank you very much. All right, cool. And I will segue on a point that Andrew just brought up about how the crypto market has gone through the cycles that it took the traditional markets 100, 200 years to make in just in 1 decade, right? 15 years, what Bitcoin's been around for. And it's because it's digital, right? The time it takes for a physical thing to go around the world can't even be compared to the time it takes for an email to go around the world. Pretty much instantaneous. And this is the reason that one of our priorities is to bridge this gap between the physical world that are land, projects, communities, and digital tools. Today the topic is actually marketing and outreach, which all and most of it goes through digital streams. Through topics we'll discover today are examples of ways of marketing and outreach. We're going to share a few decks like Flo's once he presents. Like Michelle's, we'll show some of her presentation as well. We have other speakers that will be sharing today. Michelle is one of them, founder of a community of digital nomads through a series of events and them sharing time in physical places and locations. Flo will be sharing as well. He'll be sharing his physical location in Tulum called Sanctuary Home. And we have Paco here and his team, they are an NFT creating team. So they're creating digital contracts and growing digital communities around their concept. And we'll be sharing their projects and how they are, what they're presenting to get the point across of what they're sharing, the channels that they're using, and what are some digital community tools that they use to grow their communities. It's important to live in the digital world to expand the physical. It really helps and supports through apps and tools. We all live here most of the time. It's one of the most powerful tools you can have, or one of the biggest distractions you can have in the world. And we hope to harness this by introducing you guys to strategies, techniques, and tools to empower your projects, whether they be physical communities, businesses, digital communities, or any other kind of project. All right, so who do we want to share first? I would say Michelle,
Yeah.
if you'd like to share.
Before
Don't we
we,
want to talk about NFTs first?
Okay. What do you guys think?
Blockchain chat?
Before we
This
dive
is a
in, I
beautiful
just
team.
wanna pass the QR code. I believe
Oh, yeah,
we
everyone has
got
their phone
most
out?
of you before, but
Yeah, if you have
please,
your phone,
didn't,
you can
then
scan this
you
and
can-
join the Discord. I'll be sharing links. We just got this beautiful TV for the presentations.
Andrew
Thank you,
will be
Jean-Luc.
sharing his socials and his course on the Discord. Yeah, like your QR code to the Discord.
Yeah, so this Discord is one of these digital tools, right? It's I give my mom the analogy. Imagine walking into a building, and this building, the topic is creating communities. So there's people in here interested in the topic. And then you can go into individual rooms where people are talking about permaculture in that room, and only talk about permaculture. Or into another room where people are talking about energy, and everyone in there is talking about energy. So this is what these digital tools help us do, and we'll be introducing a few of them today. Discord is one of these. We'll be sharing links in there for Flo's presentations and other presentations, and we'll be streaming them on the TV. Thank you, Jean-Luc. All right, so yeah, right. We just talked about crypto, and one of the derivatives of crypto, meaning a digital space where digital money can be created. Also in this digital space, digital contracts can be created. Digital contracts have now taken the trendy term and name NFTs, non-fungible tokens, meaning each one is a little bit different than the other one, right? Like this contract and this contract skeleton can be exactly the same, but one of them says your name and the other one says your name, for example. So Paco, if you'd like to share, this is the founder of Gorilla NFTs, who are using these digital contracts to raise money for good causes, like a project here in Mexico that turns plastic waste into energy, like a physical land project through tree houses that if you buy these contracts, you get access to, and other things like a matcha product, which shares healthy lifestyle for others. Here's the team, you guys. Yeah, you want me to share anything on the screen? Maybe your website?
Oh, it's over there.
I think it's both.
Cool, I'll give you a 5-minute mark.
Awesome, guys. So, hello, we made it, and we are happy to be sharing with you our progress, our vision, and our project itself. Now, it's not just a project and an idea. We launched 2 weeks ago our collection, and we've been bringing people, just distributing amazing art, and bringing in these people that want the art and also want a community, already giving value back to them. So as Oscar was saying, there's many tools and many things to consider with your community as they are putting value into you and your vision and trust. So you find ways and different tools to start giving back on any form of value that you can, support, education, knowledge, alpha, as Andrew was sharing it with us, and we even brought some nice merging of what we've been building the past years, what he's been learning about the technology on blockchain. And well, my name is Francisco. I was born in North Mexico, and I've been on El Paso, Texas for 6 years now. That's where I met co-founder of the Gorilla NFT, Helio. He's an expert on blockchain and building these type of communities that he's been studying and experiencing, like investing on and being on projects that fail and successful projects and projects that remain the same and are just like a good place for people to hang. So as he was saying, we launched on Discord. That's where we've been building the community and bringing people in. The Gorillae philosophy has been around for 5 years. I started this brand with my family, just as the vehicle to the philosophy we have and the philosophy I grew on, that we need to give back, you know. So this was a nice vehicle to sustain the ideas and to bring out the vision. But it was until NFTs that we were able to bring it where we were wanting and dreaming of. This brand just being the biggest thing on my life, it is just one of the parts of the community we built. And the actual DAO, well, the holders of our NFT, it's called DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization. It works by itself, and now they are 50% owners of this brand, as many as of the other ventures we're doing as a community and as a gorilla movement. So you being a gorilla introduces you to an amazing community that wants to be the wants to see the world like nourished, and we are rewarding all supporters through including them at least 50% on whatever we're doing on the real world. So we're big on that, connecting what's going on the blockchain and this amazing technology to land it into Earth and to have positive impact as well as growth for everyone.
For the community. Yes, and as you see, Paco, he's a co-founder and he was the original founder since his Gorilla Matcha lifestyle and philosophy. He started that brand. But then with all these tools that we're gonna talk about today, even if you see in our screen right here in the bottom right, you see join, hey there, have you joined our Discord yet? So you can see, as Oscar was saying and as Paco was saying, Discord is a big part of this integration of these communities into the new digital space that is not Web 2 but Web 3. And like he was saying, it's like a WhatsApp that you have different channels. Now, another thing that we need for this vision of his to be integrated and bring value to the community is the DAO that he mentioned. So a DAO has to be the central structure, I guess you can tell it, for all this to happen, and you need all these tools to feed the DAO that itself is decentralized.
Can I just want to interject, right?
Yes.
A lot of times the experts, and they live in this world, sometimes it benefits to break down little topics.
I didn't see this.
Like a DAO, right?
Yeah.
A DAO is essentially how the blockchain is digitizing something traditionally physical, like a corporation. A corporation traditionally is people physically with a contract that connects them to a project. The blockchain and crypto have digitized this process in the way of a DAO, a digital autonomous organization, decentralized autonomous organization. So this DAO is essentially the project. And to be a part of this DAO, you purchase an NFT, one of these contracts. So all of these NFTs together, once they're purchased by all of us, let's say, can be part of the DAO, and we each get a vote. However the contract dictates, we each get one vote, or however it works out, so that we can vote on the decisions that this company makes. A digital form of organizing projects and companies or land. This is one way that you can do it for land as well.
Yeah,
Correct.
so whenever the decentralization happens, it's important to say that at least you need to be centralized and aligned with your team to launch, because if you decentralize it from the beginning, it's not going anywhere fast.
And that's where the tools come in. So at the beginning, you start with just your vision, right? So it's centralized, and then you spread that to your team, so it's centralized to the team. And you use all these teams to keep adding community members to make it more decentralized, make it more like a whole. So as Oscar was saying, so this is one NFT. Let's say this is the one that he has, and then Julia gets another one. That's the second one. And then we have 4,444s, so this is the last one. But each one of these ones, even though it's different in appearance, in their DNA or their code, they have a smart contract, and they all respect the same smart contract. let's say like a family, like they all have blue eyes or like blonde hair. Each one has a different name and different appearance, but they all have blue eyes or all blonde hair because they all come from the same parents with this DNA. So that's the kind of like the similitude with NFTs. We created DNA for all these NFTs to have same DNA, but they also have uniqueness. Now, since they live in the blockchain, this is a way for you verify that you're the owner of each one of these NFTs. So believing in Web3 verifies that Oscar is the owner of this NFT. Now, all these NFTs together, if you put them on a pool, like you see up here, all them together in a pool, they form the DAO. They form the organization. So if you have an NFT, it's not much value, but all of our NFTs together, not together, that's how they hold the value. And the tools to start getting these tools into and the information, right now, it's Discord. And a lot of people say like, why Discord? Why can't we just do it through WhatsApp? Why can't we just do it through Telegram or any other, or Facebook messages, like whatever we prefer right now? Well, the thing is that Discord has the capabilities to integrate kind of like a Google, you have Google and then you have add-ons on Google, like to search for coupons, or you have add-ons for, I don't know, to test your internet speed. They're just different Google Chrome add-ons. They're just an add-on for your browser. So similar to that, Discord is a platform that you can add add-ons, but that are Web3 add-ons to do all these systems like voting, which is a very important part of these communities. Like you don't have to vote on that traditional way when you're exposed and vulnerable for corruption or delays, and or not even tracking the voting because someone can like alterate something. In these systems that you can integrate with Discord, since it's non-fungible, everything that happens on it is gonna, like once it happens, it's read-only. Kind of like the CDs that we had before. We had a CD while it was read-only. Whatever music you bought and you put that CD, that's what you played. You couldn't change the information in that CD. Then we advanced into RW, you can be putting all these different songs in it, and then now it's not safe to buy a CD off the street because you don't know if it's a random song that they put in or is the actual one. So we're going back to like the old days when we just bought a piece of asset and then it protects the information inside of it. And no matter what, like if I bought one of those CDs from before and it plays those songs, if I scratch it, I need to buy another one. Like I cannot just like fix it or whatever, like, or I cannot just put a new song in it. If I scratch the CD, those songs inside are gonna be scratched as well.
And that's where the F on NFT comes in.
Fungible.
It's fungible. Your NFT is your part of the DAO. No one can change it, and it's protected with the blockchain community.
Now, another platform, social platform that we are really familiar with, that is integrating into this new world of the metaverse and NFTs and just Web3 in general, is Twitter. If you go into Twitter right now, there's certain profile pictures that instead of being a round picture, they are like an hexagon. This means that that profile picture is not a regular picture. It's not just a JPEG. It's actually an NFT. And you can click on that profile picture. It will take you to the contract address, the smart contract. It will take you to the blockchain where it's living at and it's protecting it. And you can verify that person with that profile picture owns that NFT. So that brings like value to the people, kind of like a blue check mark. If you see a blue check mark on Twitter or Instagram, you're like, oh, it must be someone important. Now, if you know someone that is a member of a DAO or a certain DAO that you admire, or a certain DAO is building something that it's in line with you, you can now know that certain influencer or a certain person online is a member of that organization. So there's no more posing, no more pretending, no more fake followers, all that. And so I love Twitter for that. Now another tool is Spaces. So we see, a year and a half ago, a big trend of Clubhouse, which it was like a platform where you can just have a space like this one, when someone can be speaking and a lot of people join. You can raise a hand, talk, and then, or you can just listen. So Twitter adopted this platform, I guess, and integrated it into Twitter. So now there's these things called Twitter Spaces. It's like a podcast, very similar to these, which is actually the most effective way for community outreach. Like actually showing up on an event like this and talking face to face to people and opening for questions after, drawing on a board. And if you cannot do that in person, the next best thing close to it, it's Twitter Spaces. You can pin tweets to the top of the space so people can be looking like a dashboard of different tweets that you're talking about. You can all join, and then you can have several co-hosts, several speakers, and a lot of the audience. Everyone from the audience can request to become a speaker. Like if right now, just some of you like raise your left hand if you want to come up here, and raise your right hand if you want to do a question. So it's kind of like that dynamic. So I see someone raise their left hand, I know they want to come up here and talk with us. And if I see someone raise their right hand, I just know that they have a question, they just want quick clarification. So, I mean, that's the most powerful tool I believe right now, and we're gonna become even more powerful with time.
We recently announced, well, not announced, but introduced the new project structure, Gorilla 360, on a Twitter Spaces. That was like the first try. Whoever joined was able to see what we are working on at the moment. And it's a way to keep people updated. You can do also these kind of spaces on the Discord. I'm just gonna walk you through the Gorilla 360 movement. That's how we are restructuring currently, so we can scale and go a step forward to the decentralization of the project, because we are sharing a phone right now, and it's just people asking us questions, and we're like, okay, we're gonna structure this way so we can do like mini DAOs inside the team, and this can start working on a decentralized way, and we can focus on where we are at the moment. Not a lot in the phone, but building relationships, collaborating. There's many teams here that on this year we're forgetting everything on the past, and we just with the mindset that we just want to collab, we just want to add on, build together, because it's been 4 years that I was like doing this and trying to find a way, like, how am I building community if I'm just selling this? Like, should I give it like really cheap, and that's bringing value down on my brand? So no, that's not the way. Or should I do more charity? Well, that was a nice way, but the bigger the movement, the better the impact. So
talk about the charity that you did before you found NFTs.
Yeah, so basically this bag was just planting one tree with every bag sold. But
so one matcha sold equals one tree planted. So that was a charity, and then we translate that into NFTs as well now. So every NFT that you get from us gets a tree planted in real life.
But it was not enough to get towards the mission and vision I was looking at. So now making this part of a community, which this is a venture sitting right below the wellness area. So Gorilla, from a matcha brand, we created this community, which is we sold almost 40% of the collection. So this community now has a structure which is Gorilla 360, and it sits 7 different branches, which is the first one, it's wellness. Well, not in a specific order, but that's how we're gonna divide the ventures, and of course deliver the content, because as Oscar was saying, the traditional structure for now on 99% or 90% of the NFT projects is just like the main chat and the verified holders chat of the DAO, and you put value in there, and you are not kind of delivering or being 100% inclusive, considering that people has different ways or preferred ways to spend their day, or what fit to their mind. So we believe with this new structure, which is Gorilla Wellness, Gorilla Real Estate, Gorilla Tech, like all these tech, crypto tech and blockchain, we want to be inclusive with this community that's huge on Twitter and huge on the socials. We got Gorilla Wellness, which this sits right below there, is one of the ventures. Now we got Gorilla Sustainability, which is what brought us here first. On January 1st, we landed here to build relationship with PetGas, because the actual sale that we have going right now, we're destinating 50% of that to invest on this green technology. That is PetGas. They're settled down here in Tulum, Cancun, and they are doing gasoline out of plastics. So
So let me just speak on how we're doing the outreach. So you see how he has different ventures. So we have spirituality, wellness, regeneration, and then real estate.
no regeneration,
Sustainability.
real estate, tech, fashion. That's all the merch and jewelry. These guys, my friend's gonna do some watches with the NFT on it.
Yeah.
So this we make part the DAO. 50% sales to the DAO and 50% to the team that is actually executing. So with this structure, we can. There's members that want to come
Yeah,
here.
let me talk about how we actually execute. Yeah.
So this project, just like any other project, a community or physical or digital, requires ways to share and cast the net, you can call it, right? In the technical term, it's build a funnel. Create something that draws people's attention and brings them towards your project, whatever that is. Growing a community, growing people interested in one of the topics that they're doing. Now they're gonna share a few of the topics that they're using to actively use this digital content to bring people into their project.
Exactly. So we're holding different events or masterminds, kind of like this one. And depending on the setting, we focus on the audience, of course. So if it's something that's real estate, like which is a common theme right now, we just focus on the real estate. And just as an example, last conference that we had, the last event, on spot, the people that were here, they got the opportunity, if they download their Solana wallet, they got a free NFT. So basically that's step one on how we believe that we're gonna reach that marketing outreach. Before like even reaching into the marketing is gifting someone an NFT, because having an NFT is the best way that you're gonna learn about NFTs and how these communities work. You can watch YouTube videos, you can like ask your friends, you can do all these things, but until you don't download a wallet and get a free NFT, even if you don't understand it, just that energy transfer of you having it with you, it just changes you. Kind of like when you have a baby. I mean, you nothing changes, but now you have a baby. Like if you're a dad, it's kind of like now you have something on your phone, and it's not just an image. It just looks like an image, but it just holds so much value. Kind of like a baby doesn't do anything at the beginning, right? It's just like, but it's like so valuable for you, and then you know it has so much potential when it grows up and all this. So NFTs, I mean, of course they're not babies, but that's like the most closest thing that I can tell you, that you're not gonna learn about NFTs unless you have one. You're not learn how to be a dad unless you have a kid. They can tell you all these things, you can read all these books about being a dad, but practice, it's the best teacher, experience. So that's how we start with everything, and that's a deep philosophy. I can go an hour into the whole psychology of that, but you start with giving someone an NFT or convincing them to buy it if you don't have that possibilities to give it to him or to gift it. But that's step one, having the person that you want to engage into this community, into this, having an NFT as well. Now they're gonna start asking questions themselves, and then you need to listen. So step two, you need to listen.
Who remembers when you created your Facebook account? I remember perfectly, and I will never forget that day. So we believe it's the same now.
Yes.
Internet was being huge 20 years ago, and we hopped in whenever we wanted. But the ones that hopped in earlier were the ones that grew accounts faster, dominated the space. But now this is different.
I think you
But
get
similar.
a very great point. Imagine, just to put it into, I just thought of a new example. Imagine that when you created your Facebook at the beginning, then you join these communities, groups, and you have all your friends there. Now you don't want to use Facebook. So imagine that right now you can sell your account, and based on how many interactions you have, how many friends, how many likes, and how many groups you are in, that's how much you can sell your account for. That's NFTs.
I have a question. If I have a Facebook, like, so I sell it, how can I?
Well, in Facebook, you cannot. But I say imagine that Facebook had this feature, that you use Facebook for all these years, you put all these data, you invite all these friends, you put all these pictures into their platform. Now you want to leave, but when you came in, let's say they charge you $10, because I know it's free, that's why they keep all this data. But let's say Facebook at the beginning, they charge you $10 to create an account. And now that you want to sell it, since you have all these friends, you sell it to a marketing agency, and they give you $10,000 for it because you have so many followers. Then, I mean, you monetize that account. In Facebook, if you don't use it, but you don't use it, and that's it. So basically, all that value, who has all that value? Facebook. So now in these new social communities that we're building, the bigger they grow, the more interactions they are, the more they actually build, they keep that value. And if someone wants to exit out, then whoever buys in is gonna buy into that value. So there's no value lost. That's why it's the most energy efficient system out there. And me being a mechanical engineer, that's why I focus on what's a system, where I'm gonna put my time and energy, because this itself, Earth is a system. And we need to put our time and energy efficiently. If not, it's a lot of time wasted. Same with the DAOs. And the cool thing about it, that you can now actually put value into this statistics of community. Basically, like if we could, imagine we can have a counter right now that says how many people are paying attention and how much percentage of their attention they're paying right now in this conference. Like, oh, she's paying 100% attention. Some person right here is paying only 80% because they're thinking about that they have to leave in 30 minutes. Oscar right now is not being 100% because he's thinking about the time that we have for this space. So he's maybe 95% engaged and 5% thinking of the time. So imagine you can value that, and then we can reward you in some kind of way by the amount of attention that you put. That whoever put most attention gets more reward. So all that's possible with smart contracts. So it's like all these cool little features that we can integrate, kind of like add-ons to your Google browser, your Chrome browser. But yeah.
Okay, so some questions.
Any questions
for them.
about the
how,
tools?
How
Yeah.
are they growing their community, right? What are some channels you guys are using?
So
you mentioned Facebook, you mentioned Instagram.
So Facebook, Instagram, of course, because that's where all the data is in.
Right.
A tip right now is Instagram right now is trying to compete with TikTok and YouTube Shorts. So they're actually using all the data from Facebook ads and Instagram ads that people are paying, because it's a great investment. But it's a better investment just to put it on Reels, because they're using all the data that people are paying and they feed it to the Reels algorithm for free, because they're trying to compete with TikTok. Or you can, all the people are paying for Facebook ads, you can just list on the Facebook marketplace, which is for free, and they use this, their Facebook. Of course, they want their marketplace to be successful. So guess what data they're using? All the data from all the people are paying Facebook ads. So right now we're in a time, as you see that news every day, HSBC just bought into the metaverse. Like a big bank buys into the metaverse every day. So basically this is moving so quick, we're in the pivotal point that like things are just switching directions so fast. And I'm telling you this information to help you and reach. Don't spend money on Facebook ads or Instagram ads right now in March 2022. Because right now in March 2022, Instagram is just farming and milking that money and that data to feed it for free for the people using Reels and the people using Facebook Marketplace. So those are the two if you want to take advantage of the algorithm. Of course, TikTok is killing it right now. So we're barely expanding on getting more TikTok. Discord is the main one. So everything you do, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you have to be all funneling back into the Discord. Because Discord is where you keep tabs of everything. And even when you actually create a DAO and you integrate Web3 into your Discord, it's gonna be keeping tabs on the blockchain now.
Yes, I wanted to add something on Discord, just to bring you like early on our timeline, like first month of the project. I was new on Discord, to be honest. It's been around for
September.
gaming. Yeah, September. My birthday, yeah. And Discord, there's these two things that if you're starting, you can use it on your advantage, because it's really nice how many people you will find on the way that just believe in your vision and tell you like, okay, what I'm good for. So we use, on Discord, we use roles. It's an advantage of this technology that you can assign roles. So we did
Similar to WhatsApp, you know, you have admin and then you have everyone else. And then you want to invite someone to the WhatsApp chat and you're like, oh, I can't. And then you talk to the admin. It's like, can you make me admin or can you add this person? Imagine if you can have admins and then sub-admins and then people that just can manage invites, like all these different roles.
Yeah, and on one of those roles we did the OG monkeys. So it's gonna be just 100 of them out of the 4444. And these OG monkeys, I was just telling them every time or whenever we had tasks, like, hey boys, we're gonna reward you with the free NFT because that's you, the OG monkey. But you are the foundations of this community. You are the OG, like the original. We all rely on you. We need your work. It was
So using the roles,
Yeah.
So
It was
he used the
maybe-
roles to reward early members, the first 100 supporters. The first 100, like there cannot be another first 100, right? Those, he called them OGs, or like the old gangsters, like they call it. It's basically the first supporters. And this, besides getting whitelist, so early access to the NFTs, they also got a free NFT on top of it. So that's a way to incentivize early supporters, like, you get a free NFT, so basically double what others are getting, but then you have to support and start spreading this vision organically. So that's actually the most important one, you're right, because even though we're doing all these ads or marketing for outreach, the people that do the organic
power, yeah.
The organic word of mouth, and they invite their friends because, hey, I got OG, I'm one of the first 100. You're not gonna be the first 100, but it's a great project. Join. Maybe you're in the first 200.
Yes.
And
Second one is the level. Like you enter any Discord and you will be level 1. This technology, it was saying, it's traceable. So
we added a bot that records the engagement. So if you like are every day chatting, you're gonna level 20. And if you're not never there, you reach level 1. So right there you can gauge, oh, this person is literally levels, like I was saying about the attention. You can now measure how much energy they're put in by a bot that knows how many times they typed. You can also, even in Discord, be like, this chat is a main chat. So people speaking right here get double XP for the levels. And this chat is just like other things, so you put no experience on that one, because basically that's one, like the voting channel is no experience because you have to go in there, but then the chat, you can be chatting a lot, and then that's putting a lot of ideas out there.
That's really cool. So that is in this marketing and outreach mission, right? There are different topics that you should share, like them sharing the campaigns that they're sharing and their verticals, what's important to them.
The verticals, yes.
Then the channels that they're using. They mentioned Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You guys have a YouTube channel?
We're starting the YouTube.
Coming soon, right?
Yeah, and that's what we're getting into, more delegating, like the other ventures that he said, getting everyone and having like the sub DAOs, everyone in charge of one of the branches. That way we can focus on YouTube.
Cool.
Yes.
And so one of the strategies for this in Instagram, for example, is use Reels, right? In Instagram, if you post a picture, maybe your friends will see it. It's very rare that others will see it. But Reels are getting a lot more focus from Instagram because they're trying to compete with TikTok, another platform. Also, the discussion of digital community. So once you cast that net and you put information out there, you need to bring people in towards you to eventually, the technical term is convert them. Get them to do something you want them to do. Purchase an NFT, move into your community, join a retreat. Michelle is going to be sharing with us next about her community and her methods through digital communities as well. And then strategies, right? One you guys just shared was really awesome, is gamifying it. So Discord allows you to gamify the process to give people points based on how engaged they are with your community. And that's really cool.
And to end, once you do the NFTs, you can gamify the engagement, but then once they're engaged, you can also gamify the reward. So the token that you give, you can also give more rewards to the ones that engage the most. So that's how you tie it into the real world, and it's all circular.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, guys, thank you for sharing.
Last one, I wanted to add one last. Discord even lets you track how many people is inviting every person with their own link. So they just copy their own link and they'll share it. That's like the influencer marketing tracking.
Right.
But you can reward members, like, or we did it for the whitelist. So you wanna be on the pre-sale? Okay. If you have 7 invites and reach level 7 on activity, you're on the whitelist. Let's go. So that's.
So you have bot for tracking how many the engagement of people. You have bots that funnel all the information from other platforms to the Discord. And what other bots do you have?
Invites.
The invite bot, the roll bot, the giveaway bot. So you put a tweet from some giveaways, and then you put like, everyone click this link like to enter, and then the bot automatically picks a winner and then posts it. So we have like basically giveaways bot. And we have a lot. We have like 7 bots. We have a bot to record the wallet. So we want it to be very safe. So you have to connect with Discord and then input your wallet. Not just put it out there like a text, because everyone can see. Like you have to give it to a bot.
Assistance ticket.
Oh, and then the ticket assistant bot. So basically, if you want support, you click support, and then it opens up a ticket, kind of like when you open like a claim with the bank or with the insurance, right? And then it opens a ticket on our Discord. The customers don't see it,
Yeah.
but like the admins see it. So we have like a bunch of tickets, and we just have to go one by one. It's like a kind of like a DM, but it's not on the Discord DM that it can get lost. It's like a DM inside our server, and then it's ticket and it's open, and then close. So it's always open when they open it. And then you help them, and then you tell them, can you please close the ticket? Because only they can close it when they feel satisfied with when they help them. So you're like, yeah, they answer your question, like, yes. I'm like, can you please close the ticket? And then they close it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank
sweet.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
So one thing I didn't understand from now owns 50% of what
So not owns, but
owns.
not really at the end. So everything that we do, to put it simply, 50%.
The six things you do, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is the ventures, the matcha, the tokenized real estate, spirituality, everything. 50% of what we make, we put it into a community wallet. Which
Okay.
that, and then
That
that
is distributed to all the 444 and
4,400.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
correct.
So basically that means the DAO is controlled by the 4,400 NFTs.
Correct.
How many do you own as a group?
As a group, we have 25 each of the team, and we're 5. And then I think that some guy has 40, and then some guy has 30, and then everyone else have between 2 or 3. They're trying to get to 5 so they can access. If you have 5, you are able to mint a tree house. So it's like the gamify that we have even inside the mint, because everyone's like, okay, well I have 1, 2, I love it, and then it's like, oh, with 5 I can get something else. So then, a lot of people are working to get in those 5.
So basically who owns 2,223 can control the DAO.
Yeah, but there's
It's not possible theoretically,
Correct.
but in the practical way it would be possible.
no, because
If
that's
some
what us.
institution, if some
No,
Good.
so what I said is that half of what we make is goes into a community wallet that gets distributed into the 4,444. So if someone has 2,232, they just get half of the share of that rent,
okay.
but not the votes.
Okay, I see.
Like it's a we don't have a token, but the votes is
You're-
not like one
you're on
gorilla, one
Solana,
vote.
right?
It's not one gorilla, one vote.
Okay.
It's
You're on
a
Solana.
combination between the gorillas you have and the amount of token that you have. Yeah, because if not, then we have a problem with the voting.
Yeah.
I mean, in that case, like you said, if someone has 2,000, they're gonna get half of the rev that we give to the collection, but they don't get half of the voting.
Okay, so
Yeah.
your token is, or your NFT project is running in Solana. right?
Correct.
Are you concerned with 2 outages of Solana?
Not at all.
No?
No, not at all.
That
I'm actually super encouraged. Do you know how many outage did
notes.
Ethereum had in the first year?
Yeah, a lot.
Much more
And
than
they had
2.
to do the 4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know how much many outages Bitcoin had the first 4 years? Much
First
more.
4 years a lot.
Yeah. And so what I look at it in Solana, just to put it in terms of why I'm not as concerned, I just look at it in simple terms. Microsoft has been around since 1980, Apple as well. How many problems did Apple had in 1980, 1985, 1987, 1992 when I was born, up until 2000? A lot. All that time, Microsoft was good. That's Ethereum. It's Microsoft. It's Windows. And it's gonna be here, still here now, right?
But then it means that.
But then Solana is Apple. So let me tell you why. Because it's more scalable. That's the only difference. That's the only difference.
It's sexy.
It's more scalable. So whenever we get to the year 2000, when Apple released all the phones and grew super fast and it became the first $2 trillion company on the history of the human history, and surpassed Microsoft, even though Microsoft was killing it for 30 years before them, and even Steve Jobs died. Why was this? Because since the beginning, since Steve Jobs started the company, he wanted it to be scalable. He was focusing on user experience, and he was looking ahead in the future, like 25 years ahead. So like whenever we get into a tech, when everyone has a device in their hand, they didn't know it was an iPhone, but they knew it was gonna be something. It's gonna be like, it's just gonna take off. It's so scalable. And now everyone has an iPhone or a computer. And even like other.
That's true. Just one more question. Are you concerned about the proof of stake algorithm about Solana? Because I've read some articles saying that 50% of the
of the ICO is given to the
yeah, so you're
VCs and
talking,
to-
yeah. So I'll tell you that three main
But I think
concerns. I can summarize them. So answer is no. I'm not concerned about anything. I'm concerned about the people spreading this information. So the three cases against Solana, number one, that it has some outages, so because it got congested, and I can tell you, and that's actually I'm concerned about that, but I'm not concerned because all my life and my work is to combat the first one. And I'll get into that. The second one, which is the centralization of stuff. I mean, how is it? My favorite chain is Ethereum, right? After Bitcoin, which is not centralized at all. How is Ethereum holding on right now? Why is it not going to zero?
I'm not defending
no,
Ethereum. It's just questions.
I'm explaining. I'm not saying you're defending. I'm explaining to everyone. So Ethereum is great, but right now it has a lot of problems, a lot of outages that we don't see because we have Polygon and Matic, which is a layer 2 solution that it helps with all these outages. So technically Ethereum is still running smoothly thanks to Polygon. So Polygon is carrying Ethereum. Now what Polygon is a centralized proof of stake. So it's really what you're doing when you use Polygon is you're saying you're using Ethereum, which is a decentralized form of getting consensus, but you're only getting 10 computers to validate. Because even though it's going to live on Ethereum, you're validating over here in Matic. So only like 10 computers say, yeah, let's do it. So it's not really that decentralized, only 10 computers saying it. Over here in Solana, it's 1,600.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so Elio, we're gonna continue this chat on the Discord. Join the Discord. The Gorilla's gonna have a chat room in the Discord.
I'm gonna go use
Yep.
No,
Yes.
Now you have to use it.
Yeah, now you have to keep this
You have to.
conversation going. All right, thank you guys for sharing. Lots of questions in the crypto space, a very powerful tool, and we will continue this discussion every week for the beginning about crypto, NFTs, and these topics will always be going in the Discord, in the tech channel, or in the Gorilla channel that we're going to be launching to point people over to their Discord community. All right, so next presentation. Thank you guys. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. As we can see, even in this fully digital community space, there are awesome tools and strategies that you can use to grow communities. Our next presenter is Michelle. She is growing a hybrid of a digital community combined with physical communities as well, where people are coming together to meet. They will be meeting here at Palladora at the beginning of April for a week-long retreat. And Michelle is going to tell us about this and about some of the marketing strategies and outreach strategies that she's using to put a net, right, the top of the funnel, bring people towards her website, towards where she connects with people, which she'll share, and then how to get them to convert and join her retreats or come to her nomad co-work days where she hosts masterminds that are really good.
Thank you so
thank you,
much.
Michelle. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, guys. First of all, thank you for being here, and I would like to ask you to give a big applause for Oscar and the whole tribe for putting this together. Because I know, as no one else, seriously, like we're all listening and sitting and consuming here, but I know as no one else how hard it is to host events. It's a lot of work. I can tell you that. I don't know so much about the digital space. I'm very interested. I'm quite old-fashioned, maybe. Like I'm a digital nomad and like digital marketer, but I don't involve NFT or blockchain within my community. I would love to learn more about that. So thank you guys for sharing that, inspiring me. In Tulum, I got a lot inspired by this topic, and I would love to involve that into my project. So I would love to connect further. Yeah, so I'm the founder of the Nomad Escape. I've been doing this for the last 3 years. So basically, we are a business and network community for location-independent professionals. It can be remote workers, online business owners, freelancers, anyone who works in the digital space. And before I keep talking, I'm going to ask you a few questions. All right, so how it's going to work? If you would answer this question with a yes, just to give me a little bit of understanding who's in the space here. If you would answer this question with a yes, I would like to ask you to stand up. Very easy. After that, you can sit down. Yes, says 6 questions. All right, are you ready to get a bit active? Come on, guys. I know it's hot and everything, but a little bit excitement in this.
Ready.
All right. So first of all, from my understanding, because it's also for physical communities here, right, and building communities on land. Who here works online? Who here works online? Get up. That I understand. Who works online mostly? Do you guys work mostly offline? I work. Not so much on the computer. I wish to be in your position because I don't like it that much. That's why I bring people from online to offline together. I really believe in the offline thing. All right, next question. I am passionate about what I'm doing today. I am passionate about what I'm doing today. Do you feel excited? Do you get up in the morning like, fuck yeah, let's do it? All
right, I'm happy to hear that. Thank you so much. All right, next question.
I think I just stay standing.
Yeah. Next question. I sometimes have a hard time with closing down my laptop or closing down my project if you would work offline because I'm so sucked up into work. I'm looking at all the crypto guys. I know all the crypto guys are like glued into their computer. Are these two not?
You
Tell us.
He fell asleep with his phone in his hand.
All right, thank you so much. And then also, it doesn't matter if you work online or offline. Sometimes you just feel stuck in a project. Do you have that sometimes that you work and you're like, fuck, I would like to get some new insights. I'm a little bit stuck. Do you feel that as well?
Sure.
Man, I'm so jealous of some people here. Everyone, they figured it all out. Like they never feel stuck. That's so cool. Thank you. And then this is, I think, more for the people who work online. So basically, sometimes I feel isolated or a little bit lonely when I work alone on my project. Who here feels sometimes a sense of
or a bad way?
isolation? Sorry?
But isolation could be in a good way. No? Some people like work.
Could be, but for example, you work a lot on your project and you're like a little bit stuck. And you're like, I have no one to talk to, you know, and you feel like isolated and alone. Okay, that's good. Thank you. And then the last one, I sometimes miss the right people around me to brainstorm with when I'm stuck. Sometimes I miss the right people around me to brainstorm with. So sometimes you want new perspectives, a new energy, you know, sometimes it's nice to brainstorm. So when you feel a little bit stuck and you say like, oh, I'm working on this, you know, who do I have to talk to? Okay, thank you so much. So this is because I see a lot in the space, and normally I host mostly people who work online. And what is a big struggle for remote workers or online professionals is a sense of isolation, being too much behind the laptop, feeling drained, burnout, and not having physical like community basically together. So what I do, I bring online professionals offline together. So what you do basically, but then that's my full-time business kind of. I've been doing this now for 3 years. It's going to be my 20th edition. I'm going to show you a short video that you get a little bit of an understanding. Is there audio with it?
The escape is just awesome. I love it. It was really the Nomad Escape was the best decision I think I made in the last Bitcoin, the last The Nomad Escape is just awesome. I love it. This was really, the Nomad Escape was the best decision I think I made in the last Bitcoin the last 2 years.
It's definitely a thing which I'm gonna take forward with me in my life.
Definitely life-changing. The Nomad Escape in 3 words is value, friendship, and joy.
Baby, this what flying feels like. Baby, this what flying feels like. Baby, this what flying feels like. Baby, this what flying feels like.
It's something that I wanted to do, and now that I'm here, I can feel I really did the right choice.
to always strive to live your best life.
I live on Madeira Island. It's a small island next to Morocco, of Portugal, and it's, by the way, for crypto guys, it's very attractive for you to know that no crypto taxes or no reporting. So there's whole Ethereum houses. Small island next to Morocco, of Portugal, and it's, by the way, for crypto guys, it's very attractive for you to know. Wow, this is very interesting.
This is a beautiful video, by the way.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Thank
video.
you, thank you. Well, basically, I wanted you guys to hear the first sentence, and a guy said, but it was a way. It said, "The Nomad Escape has been the best investment I've made in the last 2 years, except Bitcoin." So we're close to that. So it was pretty brilliant. Unfortunately, you didn't hear it. But the reason why I started the Nomad Escape is because I come from an environment back home in the Netherlands where basically no one is really working on their personal and professional development. I come from an environment where a lot of people are on welfare, alcohol, drugs, and not really working on their growth. And since a little girl, I was very frustrated by it, and I knew that I wanted to get more in life, I wanted to travel, I wanted to learn, I wanted to expand. So I did all of that. Long story short, I have a whole presentation on that. I did all of that, but at the end, I ended up working online. Basically, my background is educational theory. I'm a social worker and a teacher. Developed my digital skills as a digital marketer, and started traveling the world. Ended up living in Bali, having an amazing, beautiful house above a rice field, pool, the hashtag digital nomad life, all amazing. And I felt super isolated. I was the whole day behind my laptop, and I even lived in an entrepreneur villa. 30 entrepreneurs lived around me, and everyone was like in the laptop. No one was really brainstorming. I was developing my skills in building WordPress then, and I had no clue what people were doing around me. And I started hiring people online on Upwork and Fiverr to help me with building my WordPress skills. And then I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm living in between tech professionals or entrepreneurs. Probably these skills are here. Why are we not sharing, right? Why are we not talking with each other? Hey, what are you working on? What are your skills? How can we help each other? And that struggle became bigger and bigger for me. And then I felt burned out. And I lived in paradise. It was amazing. And then I really stopped everything. And I was like, okay, you know, like the digital marketing, like I'm pretty good at it, and I love to build concepts and brands, but it was not per se my passion or purpose. And I stopped just everything. 5 days I went to the beach somewhere like very remote, notebook, and really sketching like from the Ikigai concept. I don't know if you guys know that, but it's a Japanese methodology to find out what is your purpose or your passion. So in a few answers, the Ikigai. Ikigai. Yeah, I can share more about that after. It's really, really interesting. And the Ikigai helps you basically answering a few questions, and it's like, what are you good at? What comes naturally to you? What makes you get up in the morning? And also, what can you monetize? Because a lot of people want to do this and change the world, and at the end cannot sustain themselves. So unfortunately, or you know, we need to have like currencies in this world to maintain ourselves. So I thought, okay, how can I do this? And I found out like, okay, maybe I should build a concept for people like me. And I started talking with all these entrepreneurs around me, like, what are your challenges and what are you actually doing? And I found out that all these 30 people had exactly the same. And I was like, okay, cool. I have digital skills, I'm living a location independent lifestyle, and lucky me, I'm an educational theorist. I know how to build educational programs and create environments where entrepreneurs or people in general really can learn well in a short amount of time and can connect well. So basically that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years, is bringing online professionals offline together. And now next month we have the Nomad Jungle Fest, we call it. And I branded it a little bit wrong because I'm from Europe. I had no idea that Jungle Fest is jungle parties. So when I came here, everyone thought that I'm gonna do an ayahuasca retreat. Well, it's business related, so I had to do a little bit better research. I had no clue, so I branded it wrong. But it's a business and network event where we do in a very interactive way. We're, learning and developing together through a whole program. I will share more about it as well. But I need the presentation. Is that okay? Can you put it up? Yeah? So I need to check. I just made a few slides quickly. Do you have that one? Thank you. So basically, I'm gonna make the shift. Basically, I would like to tell a little bit more about my why and the behind, but I tell a little about me. So this is a little bit like I have 250 people I've hosted in my programs. So people pay basically for joining the program and then are part of the community. And another 250 I hosted like in different masterminds all around the world. I hosted now 3 masterminds in Tulum. Now I'm going to go to Playa del Carmen. My colleague is in Puerto Escondido, Mexico City. So we're building the community basically by doing events. So that's what we're really good at, bringing people physically together. And if I would put you guys now randomly in small groups together, and you put your minds together in whatever topic, whatever you're going to work on, you get so much out of the box advice that you would never even think of, because normally you ask your co-founder or your colleague, but sometimes you get like an amazing, I don't know, feedback from a videographer while you're not working in the creative space. So it's super, super valuable. So these people all around, they fly in from all around the world to the location where I host my event. And what they all have in common is they are going through change in their life, they're building something, they want to learn new stuff, or they want change in their life, they want to be inspired. So that's why people keep on coming back. So these are some numbers. Oh, this is work? Oh, sorry. Yeah, so basically when it comes to the community, so we create community by bringing the people physically together. And people keep on coming back, and then we have as well a Discord channel, we have WhatsApp groups, different ways of doing that. But to be honest, when I started that, I didn't think about anything of that. I had no tech background, I didn't know. I just started reaching out to people, bringing people together, and I had a shitload of data, and I had no clue what to do with it. If I started from the beginning with building, for example, my mailing list, I don't know, for the guys in crypto and stuff, and like that industry, like if you gather information and you funnel people, for example, in a Discord, do you automatically have also their data or not? I don't know. So what I do, for example, if I invite people into the Discord channel, they need to fill in an opt-in form with their email address so that I have the data. Because when you build an email list, the data will be forever yours. Because I monetize, for example, I sell my retreat or promote my retreats and programs through Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all different channels. But if these platforms go down, you have a problem, right? So that's why I gather email addresses. Email addresses are always yours. So if you ask me for information or you want to join in my Discord community, then I send you an opt-in form and then you get an email with the link to our channel, whatever it may be that you're interested in. So then about community building in general, I'm gonna do a few short points and you can ask me some questions. So basically, I think that when you start building a community or want to be a community builder or manager, mostly start with 1 or 2 people or so, or a small group, right? Why do people want to be part of your community? Is because you experienced probably a challenge or a problem, right? And that you wanted to solve, and you created a solution for these people, right? And the people who start following you and stuff, they basically identify themselves with your story, with who you are, with what you do. So they keep on following you. So at the beginning they will be followers instead of members, I think. So I got a lot of followers at the beginning. And then like really finding the people that resonate with your story, keep on raising awareness. For me, I do it like constantly through different channels. I have, for example, a tool that's called Hero Post. And Hero Post, like I plan in my content only once a week, my assistant does that. And we just the same content, we spread it over all channels. So like all the same content goes over all the channels, and from there people start engaging. Oh, interesting. Oh, you're in Mexico. Oh, you're Madeira. And then my assistant goes on, oh, amazing. Yeah, us too. You're in Mexico. Are you there? And conversation, constantly building relationship. So that is basically what we do online. That's kind of like the lead generation. But then like also, yes.
Yeah, how big is your team for that's having these conversations for like all the leads that you get?
Yeah.
Like the leads
2.
follow up in 2?
2, yeah.
2 full-timers?
1 part-time and 1 full-time, yeah. And so like I think like Gary Vee, right? I think a lot of you guys follow as well or heard about Gary Vee. He said that he's like 5 years just talking to people. Engagement is king. That you're a real person, show up real. I show up, I don't really like it, but I show up with my face in front of the camera, that people say, oh, you are the Nomad Escape. You are a person. You are a digital nomad that struggled with this
with this thing, right? And you understand what is needed to help these people connect, to help these people grow. So basically you create the awareness and offer value. And how do I offer value? Mostly through workshops and masterminds. And also when people apply, for example, for my program, sometimes they don't know if they want to buy. And then I hear their struggles and it's like, okay, I understand, maybe you don't want to, you know, buy yet. But have you thought about following this card or this course, or are you using this tool? So for example, I had a fitness instructor who wants to join us, but she was a bit like, meh, she's in Playa del Carmen, and she comes here, but she doesn't know me, right? And then she was a bit hesitant, what I get if you don't know a person, right? And we're talking now about like marketing and sales funnel. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna sell it to her, I'm just gonna give her advice, I'm gonna give her value. Okay, you're a coach and you wanna bring your offline business online, because that's what you see a lot as well. So I gave her a whole list of tools, basically, like, okay, how can you bring your offline community online? How can you scale your business as a fitness instructor, right? So I give the value, and then also involve the people. So if you have the people in the community, if they join your programs, constantly ask people, okay, what do you think of it? What should be better? How do you want to be involved? Do you want to take care of that part of the community? I see that, I think, a lot of like crypto communities that you guys ask, like, okay, because community managers are mostly members, right? That's what you see a lot. Is it always paid, like paid job in crypto space?
A lot of the time it's really motivating.
It's more like members,
that are
right?
excited because if
Yeah.
the project grows, their investment in the project by having one of the
Exactly.
NFTs grows as well.
Exactly.
So people are encouraged
Exactly.
with it being decentralized that if I contribute to this, my piece also grows with the whole.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
kind
those-
of like if you had a ticket for your program, let's say $100.
Yeah.
But then I already bought it in. If I
Yeah.
promote it, now someone's gonna come in. Now it's like since we grew more,
Yeah.
now that ticket is 150.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, that even though they're members,
Yeah.
and they're not paid,
Yeah.
they're incentivized to
Yeah.
bring value into
Mhm.
the whole ecosystem because that's gonna bring value to their ticket.
Exactly.
So they're getting paid.
Exactly.
But
Okay,
not,
you did it like
not,
that.
not by you.
Yeah.
But the community itself growing in value.
Yeah.
Now their piece is more in value.
Okay, but that's
I know if I
beautiful.
buy Apple shares and I just be talking to everyone about Apple,
Yeah.
and then Apple stock goes up, I'm winning because I bought Apple stock.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's a bit comparable, I think, how I do it. Like we get a lot of like word of mouth, and we have just like a referral program. I really work with referral links. If you want to be a referral, you have a big network.
What do you use for your referral links?
I Thrive cards.
Thrive cards.
Yeah. I have a checkout system that's mostly for online courses, where people buy my events through Thrive cards, and then you can do referral programs and like payment plans and all those things. It's really cool. Let's connect to Stripe. You buy it one time for $500, but then it's forever like only the 2.9% from Stripe.
Thrive? Stripe?
Stripe.
Ah, Stripe.
Stripe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Stripe directly has this tool?
No. It's another tool that integrates Stripe.
Kind of like Shopify that has this all integration.
Yeah. But okay, if you would charge
So
in crypto,
Stripe
for
integrates
example.
Stripe.
Stripe. Stripe.
Integrates Stripe.
Thrive card.
Thrive card.
Thrive card and integrates Stripe. Correct. I can show you more about it. And then the
We're going to
strongest-
share it on the Discord. You guys are
Gonna share it on
interested? There's the
Discord.
community
As
growing
well, as
channel.
well.
We're going to drop it in there.
Very well. And then like word of mouth is really, it's just the best. It's just the best. People trust you. People, want to be involved. And I incentivize them just with money or with free events, because my events are quite high ticket. It starts from $1,500 to $3,000 for a week. So, people want to spread the word. They get discount on our events or just cash money, or I'm not in the crypto yet, so I really want to talk to you guys. I think it's really smart to do that. But ask me for tools and stuff. I've been there, done that. I wish I knew a lot 3 years ago that would make my journey so much faster. And if you're not tech person in community, it's good because you connect heart to heart and you get the people physically together. But it's very manual and very exhausting, I can tell you that. So, the marketing and the tools. So it should switch in a little bit. Yeah. So what I use for lead gen, I just said it, I use fully on just my social channels, even my own social channels. Basically, I sell the most on my personal Facebook page. I just share about my journey, a lot of motivational talks, like where I'm from, what I've been doing, and really inspire people. For me, it's a lot about mindset. I don't care how successful you are. I don't care how much money you have. We have people who already exited at 25 years old and sold their business, unto people of 65 and only want to start a business and everything in between. But for us, it's about mindset. So I share a lot about my values and about mindset. And then the live events bring the people together. I told already a lot about these things. And then I think what is also very important, the community managers, but you really have fixed people and fixed faces, that people trust these people. Don't go in and out. Really that, in a way, the papa or the mama of the group, we call it. That people feel trusted and supported by that. And then even, this is not super scalable, but I call. With my community, I just plan it in. After every event, we set up a catch-up call, and 1 month after, then we evaluate, like, okay, what was your challenge when you joined us? What have you been working on? And what do you need to get ahead in your journey? And then keep on doing that and supporting, and then spreading out the network. And then a sentence that I never finished, but it was about community management, basically. So, yeah, long story short, there is, I think, like when you want to do community building, and even though in the tech space it is all about people, even though we create digital worlds or like the metaverse and all those things, we should not forget that we are physical people and we do want to be physically together. And I saw a super funny meme of someone who's like laying in bed and like full with chips and beers and like super fat and laying there and like, oh, I have an amazing life in the metaverse. Like, I think it has to be also balanced. So I think like for even all the online communities, it's very important to bring the people physically together to really get a touch of what you are doing. So if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm here to help you, to serve you.
I would just like to emphasize 2 points that I got from you, like the tools. So you said that it's very important to build a database from the beginning so that you can reach people through different marketing tools in the future, because now you have a lot of people floating around and these are people of interest.
Exactly.
And you want to have a good way to reaching out.
Yes.
And also what you shared with us before the workshop, you mentioned it, but I would like to emphasize like the reels and the lives on Instagram. So something that can connect people with you and make them identify with you. And people just like watching it. People just like watching people talk.
Yeah, and like the power of social media. Sometimes I started also doing paid ads just to try stuff out. I just heard that you should not do that in March 2022, and it's March 2022, and I'm trying to do that. So maybe I should not do paid ads now.
Well, I mean, no, since you already have a lot of data, you can still. But I mean, I'm saying that you're gonna get less value on the ROI.
Yeah.
And then also to add to how she was saying about the lives, and you said you mentioned Gary Vee, how he's been talking for the last year and a half about like how content is king.
Yeah.
He's also mentioned that how back in 1998, not all businesses they were not tied to the internet. Some of them were.
Yes.
And there were like companies being like, hey, you want an internet page? And now every business has some tied to the internet, or like 99%. So also in Gary Vee's most recent videos, if you look at his channel or his page, he's also saying how every business is gonna have NFTs integrated into their model.
Yeah.
Just like all of them.
It's inevitable. It's going that direction.
And it was like, it's interesting because you already have NFTs. Like it's just like you manage them centralized with your team.
Yeah.
But you just had like it's like you already have the whole.
I have the whole setup and everything, but I need to put the technology in. So in the last event, for example, because I have a lot of crypto guys like in my community, but for me it's very technical what they talk about. And then one of the guys came up to me and said, "Hey, you need to do NFTs." I don't know shit about that. So
it's just like that ticket.
Yeah. So that I figured that, but then we created kind of like on POA. This platform, you can create like free NFTs, so we distributed it for anyone who wanted. So everyone
like a participation NFT.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So, but now I'm thinking like, okay, how can I build this better in? For me, it's just like I need to wrap my mind a little bit about.
I think that's it. I think it's just you explaining.
It's a mindset as well. It's a mindset.
It's just you understanding it. Yeah, because everything that you sell, how to build is basically the same to build an NFT. You just need to like know what it is, how it works, but I don't think I can tell you a lot of how to build it. Once you get what it is, you're gonna be like, oh, I know how to build that.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. No, I would love to learn more about that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of days like this.
Yes.
For specialists in different worlds to come together, share knowledge, and maybe discover something new by connecting both of their magics.
Yes, absolutely. So we have By the way, we partnered up also with Region Tribe. We have Julia speaking, or Oscar, or maybe together. I don't know. It's a surprise package. I don't know, but it doesn't really matter. So we partner up also with Region Tribe because we're bringing in experts on different topics into our community about leadership, about scaling a business, finding funding, mindset, productivity. So all aspects that we need as professionals, very broad. It's not only, for example, within crypto, whatever, but like everything we need in our personal and professional life. And they're going to talk, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. If you want to know something about it, it's the 4th until the 10th of April in here in the palace of Jean-Luc's palace. Here, so I'm very grateful that I can be here and that you guys are hosting this. And thank you so much for being here. And let me know.
Great, beautiful. So another example of a community creator using specific tools, right? Some of the takeaways, like Sonia said, right? Capturing emails, right? Our email. I have my email from when I was 12 and I started my first email. So it's a good way to reach people and message them, especially with certain techniques where they confirm that they're part of the community and you can continue to send them messages. Create your database. Another great thing that Michelle did was talk about physical events, like today. It's a good way to capture your audience because you can grab them and talk to them personally, right? Where in digital world, there's a lot of stuff floating around. In physical events, you can capture people and bring them to your digital audience, for example. Also memberships, creating a membership service where people feel like they're part of the group through some kind of engagement, be it monetary compensation where they're paying a monthly fee, or through some kind of activity like volunteering to help run your Discord channel. Memberships, making people feel like what humans are pretty prone to feeling, in-group, out-group, giving them the in-group feel through responsibility and any kind of connection. All right, so our third speaker today brings it full circle. We started with fully digital, half and half, digital, physical, and now we're gonna talk to Flo, who is sharing his physical community in Tulum, which many of you know and have been to and are there currently, and starting to integrate digital strategies to bring his project to the masses and hit this critical mass figure of enough people that know about the project so that he can get all the support he needs, either through people being there, living there, volunteering there, investing in the project, or coming and visiting. So Flo, would love to invite you up to speak. Thank you for joining. Should I put your pitch deck on here? You want to see it on the screen? Okay. Yeah? Okay, cool. Yeah, welcome, Flo. Thank you. Thank you for joining, brother.
Okay, thank you, Oscar and the Region Tribe, for such a wonderful work of putting our, this crazy community people all together. It's super nice. So, Sanctuarial Tulum, how many of you guys have ever visited or lived in community? And I see some hands. Okay, nice. So the whole project started with myself. I was, because of the quarantine, the pandemic, I was like, what? Because I love doing projects, building projects. I built one from 2010 to 2020. It took me 10 years to build it. And then the quarantine hit and I was like, that project was like my baby. Was my first priority. And then quarantine comes and I ask myself, I should be my own priority, not my little baby. So I start asking questions like, where do I want to live? What type of life I would like to have? And that's when I say, well, I'm an ocean person. I need to go to the ocean and start creating my own reality. Where I want to live, and with what kind of people I want to live. And that was my motivation to come. I traveled from Guerrero, Oaxaca, Chiapas, Guatemala, the whole Yucatan Peninsula, looking for a place to live by the ocean. And that's how I got to Tulum, and as I got decided, this is where I want to live. But it all started from a personal thing, Where do I want to, where and which conditions do I want to live? And that's my main motivation. And I really love this, it's so much work, but for me, it's not work at all. It's my passion. Okay? So marketing, right? This is our topic. So what do you believe is the most important purpose of marketing? Anybody has an idea? Just in 2 words or 3 words. Vender? Sales?
Yeah.
Mm,
I would say to
Before
get
they're
to get people's attention
exactly
and convince them to buy stuff.
Michelle?
Trust.
Trust. Okay. Super important. Get people's attention. Super important because you can have the best business, you can have the best idea, you can have the best everything. But if you cannot get people's attention, it's gonna go nowhere. So that's like the number one thing, right? So right now we are in the process of building the community. We have here a few volunteers from different parts of the world. We haven't opened doors yet. We're scheduled to open our first 5 cabins next month. You know, taking advantage of spring break,
month?
Next month, yes.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice, yeah.
Taking advantage of the spring break and also the Mexican Easter holidays and all that. Right now, our main issue, for example, is being like, I run out of money. So, you know, we're doing the best to just open with 5 cabins. So, okay. So for now, what we've been doing to get people's attention, that has really worked for us. We have this little thing where we do videos from what are we doing on a daily basis at the community. And then we post them on some social media. And the thing is like in today's story. And then whatever we're doing. Like today we were building an oven, we were doing different projects. Yesterday we went swimming at the cenote. So whatever we're doing on a daily basis, we just post 1, 2 videos, and with that thing, you know, in today's story. So it's a good way, people, you know, it's not the same information every day, okay? It's the same content, I mean, but it's a different video. So people like that, we notice, because people start getting engaged. Okay, what are these guys doing today, no? We're wondering. Yes. And we know videos is like the main way to promote. You know, we do videos instead of pictures because, you know, I also believe the algorithms prefer videos, and people prefer videos. So that's what we do as far as, let's say, it's not real marketing right now because we are still not at the phase where we are trying to attract customers. But at least we are trying to get people's attention.
You're growing the community.
Growing the community.
And it's never too early to start growing your community around an idea, whether it's a project or any kind of thing. Community, anything.
Yeah, and from there we get 2, 3 messages almost every day. Like people, oh, you know, they wonder, what are you doing? And then people go visit or at least ask questions or whatever. But then we notice people, you know, we're getting people's attention. Okay, so talking about marketing, so from getting people's attention, then you need to go to the basics. One of them is specialization. Did I pronounce it right? Specialize? Specialize in something, right?
You did it right.
Specialization?
Yes.
Is that an English word?
Yes.
Okay, specialization. So first thing you know, what I'm gonna be, because in today's world you cannot be like you used to be, you know, like trying to do everything. In today's world, you need to specialize in something. Otherwise, people are not gonna notice you, right? Everybody agrees on that. We need to specialize. So, for example, in our case, once we open doors and we're gonna start making efforts to, you know, get clients for the little eco-lodge we're building. Oh, because I didn't say that. It's a community that is gonna have an eco-lodge where we're gonna rent cabins as our source of income for the community, right? So our specialty is gonna be intimate contact with nature. That's basically what we're going to sell. People who, because we're in the jungle, we are next to some cenotes, we're close to Tulum. So that's going to be our specialty, you know, intimate contact with nature. So we are, you know, that's first thing, you know, what are you going to specialize in? Next thing you do is differentiation. right? Which is similar but not quite the same. Okay, how am I different from maybe another place who also has similar things, you know? I mean, what am I going to be different? So that's also an important question to ask, and in our case, we're going to be doing offer people, in this case guests who are going to come visit the community, stay with us, offer people the possibility of living that experience. It's just not like a regular guest. We're going to live, they're going to have the experience of living in community for a few days. I don't know really how many people have that, but that's something that is going to differentiate us. No? People are going to, spend time with us. Many people, says, okay, I would love to have that experience. Not only have intimate contact with nature, but I would also like to just not a regular vacation. I want to spend time with these guys. And then we're going to share with them our channel, so we have everything recorded so they can see, okay, these guys are having fun. They are going to the cenote, they are going to the beach, they are doing things together. And I would like to spend 1, 2, 3 a week with them, right? So we're also going to offer retreats and many other things, but that's going to be like, more or less where we're going. Another thing is segmentation, very important. Because, you cannot try to sell to the whole world. You need to be very specific. Who is your segment? And it's better to concentrate maybe on 5,000, 10,000 people than 2 million people or the whole world. And just concentrate on those efforts, that people. So in our case, our segmentation is going to be 2 different markets. For the cabins, it's going to be people who can afford between $100 and $200 a night, who can also want to have experience with community, intimate contact with nature. That's on one side. And then we're going to have dorms. Young people on a budget who don't have the money, maybe just regular $20, $25 a night or less. So we're going to have those 2 different markets. Very polarized, but we can bring them together as well, So that's going to be our specific segmentation. And then, basically, have you heard about the Pareto's law? Yeah?
I can't explain that, but yes.
Can somebody explain Pareto's law?
80-20.
The 80-20.
80% of your result comes from 20% of your efforts.
Yeah.
Exactly. And 20% of your clients are going to give you 80% of your profits. So it's very good to know who is who and concentrate on the people who are actually making it happen. Don't try to be, the people who hate you, they don't like you and there's not much you can do, but just concentrate on the people who are actually, that 20% that is going to give you at least 80% of your profits. And here comes the point, like Michelle was talking about that, it's very important to get to know who is who, who is who, who are your clients, and spend time with them, talking with them, even right now, through encuestas, how do you say encuestas?
Questionnaires?
Surveys. There's another one.
Surveys.
Surveys, exactly. Maybe through surveys, who are the people who would like to spend time with us and start making an effort to get to know them as much as we can. That's very important. Once they come and visit us, also get to know them, spend time with them and see exactly who they are. Okay. There's another rule everybody knows about, the 120/20 rule. No? 120.
80-20 I know, but the 120 20 no.
120 I forgot the name who came out with that one. That is a rule that is similar to Pareto's law. Your top 20 clients are actually give you 100 or 120 of your revenue, because the other low 20, if you really put too much attention to them, I want to take that extra 20. So it can even go that way. Not only 820, but can go as high as 20. Your best 20 can bring you your 120. And that's who you need to know really well, and you need to completely concentrate on them. you know. Of course, it's not like you're gonna stop talking to everybody else, no, but you're gonna concentrate on those ones. And then, so we talk about the who, then it's important to know about the what, get to know them. What do they need? What can bring them from misery to heaven, right? And and offer that to them. Just offer what's going to make a difference in their life along those lines, you know, that you are concentrating your efforts on. Where is where to advertise? We spoke a lot about that. Social media, you know, I'm not that good. Maybe I'm going to speak to you guys later and I will need some help. But where are you going to put your efforts, you know? So we got very good ideas today about all that. And I guess, bottom line, that's it. So maybe, should I do a little presentation here?
Yeah, sure.
Flo, send me a video. It's on the chat if you wanted to show the video.
Can we see the video first?
It's on the chat?
Yeah, sure.
It's just a small
Or I can
thing we did.
I can share it if you want.
It's on our chat. Okay, fine.
Agency.
Okay, 1 second.
So it's like a promo video that you
Yeah, it's a
took
promo
some time
video
ago?
that we're going to start, using that on the, and this is especially geared towards the people who are going to stay at the dorms. That part of the segmentation. Geared towards the Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe just the other presentation, so we go.
Yeah, Oscar is
Yeah.
just opening it right now.
Okay.
What took me there is to be connected to the land. Tulum has such a sacred history with the ancient Mayan peoples, and the land there is wanting to be honored, it's wanting to be sanctified. That there's such a commercialization of Tulum, there's such an exploitation, it feels like a college spring break downtown all the time. And then you go to the beach side, there's all this privatization of resorts. And so what brought me there is to connect with the land, because the land is asking for healing. The land is asking for connection. And what I am absolutely loving about there is that because the land is calling for it, it is bringing some of the most beautiful people that I've had the opportunity to meet from all over the world. Is that the land is just bringing in persons who are connecting with their their soul, their spirit. They're wanting to wake up. They're wanting to actually be the change in the world, and they're coming there to find that self and to reconnect with nature, to be barefoot on the ground, to experience what it is to live in the jungle, even with all the mosquitoes and the heat. There's such a realness, such aliveness that happens there. And so for me, the experience, I've been there for 10 days, and it is this opportunity to connect with the land in the way that I have yet to connect with the land. I'm from central United States in the mountains, and so to be here in the jungle is such a blessing. It's living in a way that I've never lived before, and today I worked on an oven. So I went into the jungle, found a reserve of clay, dug out clay, brought that back, mixed it in with sand and palm leaves, and now we're building an oven. And so I get to see this project growing and to learn these different skills of creation and how to use the resources that are around us. And every person there comes with an incredible skill, an incredible gift. And it's a chance for people to share their gifts and their knowledge. And even last night for the full moon, held a full moon ceremony for the few of us that was interested. And so there is the invitation to share your gifts, to share your passion. And there's always somebody there that wants to hear and learn what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're passionate about.
Thank you.
What a beautiful feedback that is. Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. So finally, just we can go through show you a little about the project.
Let's come. Take some close up. Pon la presentación.
Ahí dile, bro.
Okay.
Okay, it's here.
Okay, so Santorium, the luxury, this is very important. This is our slogan, the luxury of simplicity. Because that's, first of all, that's how I live my life. I'm a super simple person, super simple. And for me, that's real luxury. Like, for example, I'm always barefoot. For the last 2 years, I haven't used a shower. I haven't used shampoo. I haven't used soap. I use clay.
Oh, wow.
That's my, for the last 2 years, just clay and the cenote, or I was living by the mountains before also. In front of my other place, there's a river, so just went to the river, clay, and super simple life,
Before you
and this,
continue,
for me, that's true luxury.
Yeah, I just want to note, so this presentation is a perfect example of marketing and outreach. At the phase that we are in the workshops of coming up with your idea, finding the land, and creating the plan to build your community, this is the next logical step. Putting it together in a presentation where you can easily hand it off to people that could be interested to come and support your project. So, beautiful presentation, and yeah, thank you for sharing it. There's a perfect example of what to share in this step.
So he says a few things, we're going to offer. Minimalist, eco-lodge, jungle cenotes, roof garden. We don't have that, maybe we will. Conscious gastronomy, very important. Art, healthy recreation. Yeah. Take a second, sorry. So healthy recreation, very important, because there's so many things we can do, I think was one thing to Loom and the whole world needs, healthy recreation. And then soul healing and intimate contact with nature. So in this brochure we have, this is the index concept project, pre-sale investment opportunities, sustainability, history, and contact. So next please.
Yeah, it's coming.
So he said, we are, whatever, close to the beach, close to cenotes. So should I read or? Maybe I just
talk about it. Yeah, talk about it. Share.
So this is our master plan.
So these are perfect examples of things to share again. Our workshop last week was master plans. What you can draw on your potential land to show people from a high level, what is this project? And this is a perfect example of a geographic master plan.
Mm-hmm. Can we actually move 2 slides down, please?
Down?
With the other map. and then
Oh,
we come
yeah,
back
yeah.
to
Yeah, nice. Good
We'll
call.
come back to this one. Right.
Right, this is a zoom in of the actual property, and then the one we're about to go to kind of shows more of the region.
Yeah. Okay, this is where we are. We are only 2 miles or 3 kilometers from the village, Tulum. This is the highway from Tulum to Chetumal. And you know, you're familiar with the Cenote Cristal, Cenote Mayan Blue, Cenote Shoan, where now basically the new venue is, and Cenote Escondido. So we have our private street, which is 500 meters from the highway, and we have a 100 meters, well, it's 110 by 50 something, so it's 100 hectares. We have a private pathway, 100 meters to Cenote Escondido. Right now we are trying to connect with the Cenote Escondido and Cenote Cristal, I own by the Ejido. So we're trying to reach them to see if we can come to an agreement. Because right now, if we use these cenotes, we have to pay. So we'll come to an agreement. We have the Mayan Blue cenote, which is just 250 meters from the place. We have a private pathway, so this one we can use. And this little cenote Shoan used to be free, but now they open a restaurant. And as far as you consume a beer or something, you can go in and get in this cenote. So we're very neat from these beautiful cenotes, right? Okay.
You want to go to the zoom in? All right, so while that transitions, I'm going to write some of these points down. So, topics to share in your marketing and outreach mission. One of it is to show a high-level view of where your property is in relation to the geographic area, the city, and other major geographic locations like the cenotes.
So, this is our master plan. Okay. Okay. So again, you know, remember this street, right? So 500 meters from the highway, we get into this pathway, and we divided the land into segments. What we call the private section, where all the cabins are going to be, and then the public sections for, you know, the common areas. So we will have 12 cabins. So far we have built 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the ones we're going to inaugurate like in 20 days. So 12 cabins, we will have a restaurant. And again, the concept is very minimalist. The restaurant is only going to be tables under the trees, not a big deal, maybe an umbrella. So you're literally in the jungle, you know. And we're going to surround the perimeter with mosquito net fabric, because mosquitoes can be a thing. Yeah. So, but it's very simple, just tables under the trees. We have what we call a jungle stage, which again is just a spot, very simple, where we already held a weekend yoga retreat. We're going to improve it a little bit again with the mosquito net. We already have a kitchen. It's very primitive, but it works. Right now, how many people we have? Like 15 people, right? So we'll get nice meals from there, but it's going to get better. So we have the kitchen, we will have a wellness area, we'll have 2 dorms, we will have what else? Well, a private pool, but actually what we're going to do is just break the ground a little bit. So we have our small private cenote. And I guess that's it, right? Oh, we're also building the front desk cabin, which is in the here.
And the art area.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
The art area, no?
Oh, and the art area, yes. We're going to have like an art walk, more or less around here. Okay. And then we can go.
Okay. What would you like to see? Picture of the properties?
Well, what else? Okay, each cabin, you know, we changed. This was going to be our original, maybe we can see this one, our original style. But we realized maybe we didn't have enough money for that, so we changed the concept a little bit. The cabins are very nice. They're very, but they're not. This was the original. Actually, we did a dummy, really cute, 1 meter in the scale to 1 to 5. But maybe we'll do them sometime. But right now we went a little more simple. So I guess what else can we see here?
See this from the top, each one.
Here we can just go.
Okay. Show you the top one.
Each cabin is going to have its own private garden. It's going to be a 15 by 15 meters, the total of 225 meters private garden. Right now we're working on a project because one mistake, for example, that I did when I came, when we clean the jungle, because you need to clean a little bit so you can walk, So I hired these guys and they are Mayans, they're good at cleaning the land. I had to go out of town for 4 days. And when I came, they cleaned too much. I mean, they didn't knock any big trees, they didn't knock, but they cleaned too much. So right now we're at a point where each cabin is going to have a green fence around it for privacy and a beautiful heart-shaped Mayan plunge pool. We already have 4 built and they're adorable, really. Super cute. So the idea is you can be naked in your own private garden.
Nice.
And but we are going to have to plant all green, so there's no privacy. But yesterday we came up with an idea that we started working. I'll show you later. It's a very simple way to make it private, very beautiful, blends with the jungle, and for that we're working on that. Slide one. Maybe here. Oh, from there. Picture of the pool come back. Yeah. So these are the pools. I have to be honest. I borrowed this idea from ICAO. Some of the cabins have plunge pools, and this in particular, but we improve it. We did a few things different. That, it's coming. Oh, we have 2 of these. These are going to be one, exactly this idea for hot jacuzzi, and the other one is going to be for ice baths. And the ice baths is just a freezer with a lot of pet bottles that you keep frozen. So once you put them in this, and once you're done, you put them back in the freezer. So you have to keep them by your life.
Nice.
But is this ready? This part?
I'm sorry?
This is finished? Like this part?
No, this is not ours. This is just part of our brochure.
Oh, okay.
We have this already done.
Okay, yeah.
We have 4 out of these next to the cabins.
Okay.
We have this already, at the place. We just have to do the tripod and finish them.
Okay.
We also have another project in the mountains, where I still live or want to live part of the year. And these are just pictures. It's called Horus Holistic Sanctuary. It's a very beautiful project in Tepoztlan. Tepoztlan is a magic town in the mountains. So these are pictures, when we were building that eco lodge over there. And this one we built basically all through workshops. At the beginning, it was a few friends and myself doing it. And we had friends coming and visit us, and they said, why don't you guys do workshops and teach us what you're doing? That was back in 2014, when, at least in Mexico, nobody offered workshops on bioconstruction. And we were the first ones in Mexico to offer that type of workshops. We were super successful. Every weekend, we have between 25 and 30 students. And basically, they paid for the big percentage of the construction. And it was a win-win, because they wanted to learn, they paid to help, and many of them, they end up staying for months or even more than a year. And today in Mexico, there's, at least that I know, 5, 6, 7 companies who do bioconstruction, young people, and they all came from Hollywood. That's how they got started, and they got so excited that today some of them are very successful. They're doing amazing projects, and their first experience was with us, 8 years ago or 2014. Segmentation, we already talked about that, so we can skip it. And the rest is just, this is a brochure that we share with people who would like to invest with us.
Which is also a good topic to share when you are creating your project. It's never a bad idea to have too much investment and more finance than you need. So having a thought out plan on how someone can get involved that connects with the vision of the keywords you were saying, right? Connecting with nature, connecting with others, connecting with yourself. Sharing these, I would say, goals, purposes, missions of your project, and giving someone a clear way to invest early, like buying a month stay a year before the project is ready. They get a discount, you get money to finish your project, and giving it to them in a way through a deck or through your website that they can easily understand and trust what your project is about and how it works.
Yeah, so far, you know, we have successfully, I mean, I believe we did the hardest part, what was arriving to Tulum, starting construction during the summer, camping at the jungle, super hot, a lot of mosquitoes, that was super hard. At least now it's not a dream anymore. It's there, it's working, and as soon as, this is pictures of the other place we have in the mountains. We're right next to this amazing mountain.
We're planning a road trip in January, February, March, April, May, June, and we're leaving here beginning of June and ending in Tepoztlan end of June. So we're coming to visit.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
For example, this is a 5-story building. It's all made with 100% recycled wood.
That's at your place?
Yes, it's our
Oh,
place.
beautiful.
And you know, the funny thing about that is, you know, is anybody familiar here with dragon dreaming techniques? Yeah?
Dragon breeding.
Dragon?
Breeding.
Dreaming.
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 Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like a project management technique that walks groups through the process of taking an idea, planning it out, executing it, and then celebrating at the end of it. Which is
Exactly,
pretty,
yeah. So the funny part about that one, you know, this is our little pool. You know, during quarantine, because Tepoztlan was shut down for 5 months during 2020's quarantine. So we spent that time doing this beautiful mosaic pool. And that was our project for the quarantine. Because we were stuck there for months.
That's good.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else, Flo? Does anyone have any questions about, yeah?
I do. So you mentioned, which I think is a very important part, sharing your journey with people. What are some of the channels or platforms where you share it? So you share it on WhatsApp chats, you share it on our WhatsApp chat. What are the other places where you share the journey?
Okay, you know, technology is my weak spot.
You're doing okay.
For example, I'm on Instagram, but I don't use it, so that's one thing I need to.
Yeah, we got to get the videos. So one strategy is in our Discord, we have created channels for each of the communities that we feel are really living up to the regenerative standard. And Flowspace has a channel in our Discord where he is sharing his journey. Every day that he creates a story, he shares it in WhatsApp, in the Discord, so people can tune into the Discord and kind of follow along with what you guys are doing.
But maybe I'm doing it wrong because every time I try to upload,
the files are big, right?
The video, I mean, my videos, because I share a lot with, you know, Facebook stories, our videos are super short on purpose.
Yeah.
They are like 20 seconds.
Okay.
But even though they are too big for Discord,
Right.
am I doing something wrong?
What we're gonna do is, so you can get some community sharing, cross-pollination, we're gonna start sharing the links. When you share it on Facebook, we'll share the link in the Discord.
Okay.
So people can go to it and go to your page and like it and follow and get your information.
Nice.
So this way we both kind of like cross-share and cross-pollinate
Yeah,
communities.
because I stopped using the Discord channel you gave us because
It wasn't uploading the videos.
It was,
Okay,
yes.
we'll share the links.
But we do a number of WhatsApp groups. We do a number of Facebook groups. We have our own Facebook page, and we post every day at least like 2-3 stories. And people love it. They've told us, oh, you know, wow, we love what you're doing. because they, they're curious. What are these guys up to today? So that technique has really worked for us because it's not like boring, like you show the same thing, they get tired of seeing every day.
And it's also what Misha was saying about people identifying and just connecting with you guys. So you take them on a trip, on a journey, so they kind of feel like they are co-creating the community with you, which is a community itself, right?
Yes. Any questions? Comments? Suggestions?
What's the name of the Tepoztlan Lodge?
Horus, like the Egyptian god with an H, because sometimes people Google it without the H and it doesn't come. Horus, holístico in Spanish, Horus Santuario Holístico.
We will share a link in our Discord too.
Oh yeah.
You know
where it is.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Flo. All right, so we wanted to, Flo, have a seat up here. We wanted to end the day with a little bit of a panel to have. You guys want to sit up here for a few seconds? We're just going to go over the main topics that we discussed today and kind of pick your brains. Maybe you guys can like share each other's ideas, cross-pollinate. I think Michelle had a call to jump on, but we can do it. All right, does anyone in here have experience with marketing in any way? Digital marketing, ads, social media, anything? Have done it on their own for a project or in any way do outreach or stuff? You want to join? Okay, ask any questions if you'd like. Thank you. All right, anyone else? Any takers? Okay, cool. Yeah? Okay, Julia, get up here. Great. Great idea. All right, guys, so today we discussed Michelle, you want to sit on the panel? If you have a call, it's okay? Yeah, do it. No stress. No stress. Okay. Yeah, so today we discussed the importance of marketing and outreach to grow an idea into something tangible, right? Today we also had different kinds of communities that were joining us. Digital communities, hybrid of digital and physical communities, and how they all stand to gain from using digital strategies to what we call traditionally the funnel, right? Cast the net at the top of the funnel and get people's attention. From there, you want to connect with these people. So you hook them, you bring them in, and you connect with them. You can do that in different ways. Discord, Facebook, any kind of place where they can ask questions and interact with you. Connection. In this process of connecting, you build trust. This was a really good topic that came up. Gaining trust from your potential customers, potential community members. And then that last step, after you trust and they see everything you're doing, is convert them. So have them come and visit your community. Have them come to your retreats. Have them buy a Gorilla NFT. Any of these. So I tried to highlight up here, as everyone was talking, some of the key ways that we're doing it. So Gorilla Team, what is the most effective channel for you guys? You want to change it?
I think as of right now, and it's always evolving, I think the most effective channel right now for outreach and getting a lot of the ideas out there is Twitter, both just tweets and Twitter spaces. And then secondary, most important, is Discord, because once you get them, you put in the Discord, that's when they can get all the list of all the events, all the information, and that's where they get to interact like for the next week or whatever, when Twitter is just like where you catch them.
Right, so Twitter is an interesting one. It's a unique platform. Coming from the technology crypto space, Twitter was the main channel for a lot of these users, where it's more written text than visual or audio. It's just little snippets of text, only like 180 words, I think, something really short. So Twitter is a good one for you. Michelle, what is like your best channel? Where do you get the most traction and attention? Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Instagram stories.
Yeah, you shared with us today. You did a live.
Yeah.
You did like a Q&A live session.
Sorry.
Yeah, get in.
Oh, sorry.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, the aesthetics are not so nice now. Like, sorry guys. Very important.
Marketing.
Thank you, guys.
Right, marketing, right? How things look.
Yeah,
it's
exactly,
important
sir.
to get people's attention,
Thank
the
you.
packaging around things. A lot of the time it's overlooked, but it's really important.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook as well. So, for example, for us, Facebook groups. So not my groups. I have a Facebook group of 5,000 members, but other people's groups. So community groups. So you have digital nomads, whatever, in Spain, in Mexico, remote workers, la la la. I just post in there sometimes like valuable content, but also very straight to the point. Like, hey guys, from the 4th until the 10th of April, we're hosting this digital nomad mini conference in Paladora, and we're bringing 50 people together, working on our businesses, and I would like to invite everyone who's interested. And I've been doing sales basically like that, very straightforward for the last 3 years.
Straightforward invitations.
Just like my copy is literally wanted digital nomads. When? 4th till the 10th of April. Where? Mexico. Okay, hey guys, my name is Michelle. I'm a entrepreneur and I host business retreats for online entrepreneurs. And I would like to invite anyone who's interested to participate in a 7-day program where we grow our skills, network, and business together through la 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 program, right? Who's interested? Type yes. Yes, 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 yes. Then I have an opt-in form, basically, like through email. Because people say, oh, I'm interested. So, okay, cool. Fill in this form, and then you get the information in your email. Because if you don't do that, and I just start chatting, you lose all the leads. So probably not everyone can come to Mexico within the time. Like I'm limited to time, right, and location. That's my
You got
downside.
that attention.
Exactly. So then I see people who already following me 2 years ago who said like, oh, I'm interested, but he couldn't. Pandemic, Corona, a war in Europe now at the moment. We are highly affected by that. Then people keep on following you, and like 2 years later they come. So it's trust. So they see, oh, I've seen you all the time. You're real. You're actually doing it, and not one time like, oh, I'm doing this retreat, right? So you need to build that social proof and track record.
cool, yeah. So here next to the trust bubble, I put consistent storytelling.
Yes.
Being consistent with the events you're doing, broadcasting them, and leaving what you can call a paper trail, a digital paper trail. So when someone says, oh, why should I come to this event? Yeah, sure, they're describing it awesome. They can go back and see videos like the one you shared, or previous live streams of this workshop. Why would I come to that workshop? They can come and kind of experience it here.
Correct.
Okay, beautiful. Flo, what are some channels that you're using successfully where you feel a lot of people are coming in and getting involved, and that you're getting a lot of these leads from?
What is really working for us right now is WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups. But again, I'm not using Instagram. At the other place we use Instagram, but in this case I haven't. But so far, WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups.
Now with Facebook groups you can really do a lot, but you need to know how to write. Because you need to write if you want to sell or brand or market through Facebook group or build a community. You don't put there a flyer of your event. People don't react to that because it's too salesy. What I do, I talk like, hey, I am Michelle, and I just put photos of Paladora. I don't put the flyer of the Nomad Jungle Fest because that's promoting. No, me as a person, create something for people like me, and then people are interested. First they don't know like that I do have a proper business in the back end. And I tried different things, and this is like
The best.
Yeah, I've been doing sales like for 3 years almost like that. Yeah.
So
So you're basically engaging them through this, and then
I am in Spain. Oh, amazing! I was also in Spain. What are you doing there? Yeah, I'm working in whatever. Oh, yeah. My community is also working. Oh, okay, cool. Let me tell you something about yourself, about myself, and then I send the link with the opt-in, and then they start engaging, and also the link to Facebook, to Instagram, and different channels that they see that you're active on different channels. Yeah.
So this term that you guys are talking about is community hacking, a term that's dear and near to my heart, which is identifying groups of people that already exist, right? Creating a community is not easy, nor does it happen overnight. To reach a big enough amount of people that Some of them will convert to come to your retreat or come to your space or buy NFTs. You need a pretty big audience. So a really good strategy is community hacking. Finding other communities that have something to do with your topic, right? People who love nature, people who are entrepreneurs online, people who have crypto, right? And enter those communities. Don't just post a flyer. Bring value. Share important topics. Share access to certain things that you're doing. Share tidbits of your events that people can take value in. And in this way, you enter the community, people begin to trust you, and then when you share organic things of things that people are enjoying or that you yourself enjoy, it's a good way to start casting that net, to get people's attention and bring them into your funnel, where you then connect with them, build trust, and then convert. Okay, Jules, what are some really successful channels or strategies that you have found that allow you to share an idea with someone out there and brings them into your funnel?
I want to say it really depends on your audience, and this is the foundation of it all. Like, you got to know who you want to talk to. Different platforms have like different organic audiences, right? Like if you want to talk to females between, I don't know, 25 and 45, you probably want to hit Pinterest, right? If you want to talk to males at age 60, you probably don't want to go to Pinterest. Same accounts for all the other platforms. That's the most important part. Like if you want to talk to developers, crypto people, these kind of people, like we all live on Discord, right? Probably not so much a 14-year-old girl that you want to sell a shirt to. So I would say this is the foundation of like picking your main channels. It's great to live on all the channels and cross promote, but we are all bandwidth limited usually, and like we have the intention on getting on TikTok, for example, something that we haven't looked at before, but that is important, but we still haven't done it because you know we currently don't have the resources to do so. That is a really great channel, especially nowadays.
Right, TikTok.
Yeah, right.
They say like if you do 7 videos a day on TikTok, you'll go viral. Like,
Right.
You just need to
Really?
be
Okay.
consistent on
I
that.
started and I stopped.
7 a day.
So down with it.
7 a day. It is.
TikTok really rewards
start
for
a new one.
consistency in
Right,
posts.
right.
And so each platform has a different algorithm.
Keep at it, it will pick it up and it just make it viral.
Each platform has a different algorithm, right? A way that they reward the users for using their platform. TikTok does it for consistency. So posting short videos regularly really brings you, you know when you're on Instagram or one of your other things and it's like the discover page where it's like people you don't follow but it could be interesting to you? TikTok does it by how much you post. Instagram is trying to enter that demographic and take some users, so they're copying that algorithm with Reels.
Exactly.
Reels do that on that, yeah. Facebook, it's through engagement. So if you comment on lots of other people's stuff, your page gets promoted to other people and things like this.
Yes.
Paco, what are some things that you use in
I
your
would like
first
to.
days?
I would like to add to that
Yeah,
like here in Mexico, for example, WhatsApp is super important, right? Like I'm from Europe, and
What is
like
super
there's I'm
important?
from
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Like I'm from Europe, I'm from Germany, and like you don't really do much marketing via WhatsApp. It's kind of an old school tool that you know you use to communicate with your friends, with your family, but you don't really use it for business. Mexico is a different game. Like everyone literally lives on there, so it's a really important tool here. And through that, organic marketing, like having people reach out naturally, right? Not only like the flyer posting, but hey, this is where I'm going tonight, by the way. Like, you know, would love to see you guys there. These kind of things. The more organic it is, the better it is. This is why micro influencers are so successful these days, because it's not like this paid star that everyone knows is not probably doesn't stand 100% behind the brand, but someone like with a trusted following, right, that just shares personal preferences and choices that are much more relatable and build much more trust. Yeah.
Yeah, this topic, she just said micro-influencers. We all know the concept of influencers, people that have millions of followers, and if they post about this TV remote, X amount of people are gonna go buy this TV remote because they saw it on their page. That era came and went because people realized that this TV remote was paying that guy to make this advertisement about this TV remote. So this has gone in the footsteps of crypto, how it's decentralized money. Instead of paying one guy with 1 million followers, companies are now paying 100 people with 10,000 followers that are more authentic and actually connected to their 10,000 followers. So if I say, hey, this remote is good, my following maybe won't go and buy it right away, but it really plants a seed more effectively because it's authentic. And it goes along with this building trust concept, right? Micro influencers over mega influencers. Sharing authentic pictures over sharing flyers. And there's another one we said, but now I'm forgetting.
Also, micro influencers, like they get more targeted right now because they have more engagement and more touch with the actual community, because the influencers, they got so high that they got out of touch. They
Right.
just and then so they're more niche, and so it's like what Yulia was saying, like you get those ROI or conversion.
Right.
It's the percentage of conversion is much more high with these micro influencers with the big ones, even though the outreach is bigger with the big ones, not the conversion.
Yeah, this word you said, niche, right? Flo touched on it. Finding your segment or your specific demographic, right? So you can always boil it down to more specific and more specific. Like you can start with fashion, but that's a big channel. You can go from fashion to footwear. Smaller niche, sneakers. Smaller niche, like streetwear, basketball sneakers or whatever it is. And then even smaller than that, like
For women only.
right, for women with cartoons on them.
Yeah.
And this niche, if you can find that influencer and she promotes a sneaker with a cartoon on it, people are gonna buy it, more or less. Or people are gonna be introduced to it that are caring about that specific topic. So these are all little bits of strategy. Yeah, Paco, what are some things you did when you started your Gorilla E brand? And the matcha brand, yeah.
Yes, it was Instagram all the way. And before starting the NFTs, we went on the Facebook advertising side. But if you, if you don't have like big resources, it will just
right. It consumes
yeah,
your
it's
budget
yeah, it's
easily.
hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's hard. It's hard. But yes, I just wanted to share like what I've learned and with the recipes kind of videos.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to tell all the process of how you make it, like the ingredients and look at this, look at that. But first you need to show the final product. So to catch their attention, like people usually are rushing. If you're gonna do, I'm just put example as a recipe. You're gonna do a pancakes recipe. First shot should be like the finished product, like 3 seconds, and then you start with the process. That's why people is like, oh, I'm getting into that. Okay. Otherwise, they get distracted along the way.
Like a thumbnail?
Yeah, like a thumbnail, but in the actual video, the first 3 seconds, la 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 la, like look at our community, and then you start saying what you need to say on a minute, and that's how you catch their attention on the first seconds, because it's fast, you know. If they don't feel attracted on the first 3 seconds, they'll just. It's very easy to say like, no thanks, yes please.
You show them something that they want, right? Like delicious pancakes that look beautiful and not like a bowl and like different ingredients that no one cares about, right?
Kind of like the
Just-
teasers
Right.
for a movie.
Yeah,
they show
just
you the best
recently.
scenes.
Yeah, I recently learned that from TikTok, and makes sense. Like, hey, this is what we're doing. I'm gonna watch you through, but first you show them. Otherwise, they're not gonna be attracted by a bag of flour. You know.
Right. There's psychologically there's a start and an end effect to everything too. That applies to marketing, that applies to every conversation, every email you write. Always start with and end with something positive. Something that's not about yourself too. And there it applies too. It builds emotion, right? Like first you show like these delicious pancakes that you really want to eat, and then you show like your entire recipe, and at the end you show like all of your friends eating these delicious pancakes, for example. So you build the desire and you feed it with all of these emotions of like, you know, coming together and having fun and eating something awesome and so on.
Yes,
and so
you
on,
bring
right?
you bring more experiences
Right.
on what usually people would do just a simple recipe.
Right,
Love
right.
it.
And this is what's remembered too, just psychologically, the beginning and the end of things. What's in between is washed away.
Yes, and another thing I learned with the Facebook ads is that people actually like consistency. If you're gonna be posting once a day, just keep it like one time. Choose a time, 10 in the morning. That time, like all living beings, you know, we get kind of programmed with something good and we accept it. Like, okay, now I know that at 10 in the morning that I'm sipping my morning coffee, I can see a video of the community I'm interested. So I'll just be ready for their daily content. That's a big, like a tool. It's a tool, and it's just the newspaper arriving, but now digital.
Right.
People like that. Like if you dominate that, they will see it and they will rely on you for at least a video once a day or every Tuesday, you know?
Right. Yeah. So consistency.
And
right?
is that for all channels or like Facebook more specific?
No,
As many
Instagram-
channels as you can
Instagram,
do
yes.
it, man. And like Julia said, it's not easy to do all the channels. Each in an ideal company, each channel has one person that is responsible. One for TikTok, one for Insta, one for Facebook, one for Twitter, one for Discord. And like that would be a good social media team. Obviously, sometimes it's us building the thing and doing it and shooting the content and doing sales, which is part of being an entrepreneur. And one of the beautiful things about these digital communities, about creating this space, is if people really believe in what you're doing, a lot of people are eager, like volunteer teams, to join and be a part of the mission
That's my
and
favorite
support
part.
you through it. Right.
That's my favorite part. Like I found out in my first NFT project that I've always done like the entrepreneur. Like I do the content, I do the copy, I even run the ads. I do everything. And then when my first NFT project, I was doing everything as well. And then someone started doing the content for me. Like they did the flyer, so I was only posting and doing the copy. So I just copy paste my copy, get the image from this guy that he loved the project. He's just doing images for me, and then someone's like, I'll post for you. So now I can start doing DMs and talking to other projects and like scoring like, oh, we collaborate with this, we're doing a joint giveaway, whatever. So it happens organically, and that's why I love it, NFTs, because now they can, the work they put in is gonna bring value for their NFTs.
Right.
So basically they don't feel it as work, they see it as volunteer, as paid volunteer.
Right. It's there's this unique thing that happens with communities. It's why I'm super passionate about it. A unique thing where people see the collective effort in something, like with NFT specifically, they see the collective effort in bringing energy to a project that will grow because they have a piece of it, and their piece will grow as well. The same thing happens with communities that are nomad, co-work, entrepreneur communities. The stronger and bigger the community, people are excited to invite their web developer friend because he'll come to the retreat and maybe help someone make their website. Or you'll have more resources. Similar with physical communities. The more people that are attached to your physical community, the better the place where they're going to be spending their time or potentially life in long-term communities. So there's a real magic in it. And this is, I think, the big takeaway I would love for everyone to take back from today's day. Marketing and outreach is about getting people's attention and building trust and converting. But a big part of it in this new age of marketing comes from connecting to your audience.
True value.
Having the digital clubhouse where people are. You can't expect everyone to show up at a building where you're talking, but you can expect them to have that digital building in their phone. This is the connect step. Having a Facebook group where people can enter, ask questions, connect with others, or a Discord, right, which a lot of us are using. Now, there's other platforms, right, or a WhatsApp. That makes it easy. Everyone has WhatsApp anyways. It gets a little bit disorganized if you get 100, 1,000, 10,000 followers in there. So different tools that are expanding. There's other tools like Mighty Network. Michelle's tried it. We've tried it. Not my favorite. I think it wasn't your favorite. Some people find really good use in it. And it really depends on your audience, on your demographic. Okay, does anyone have any questions? Any topics?
Oh, you go. No, I just wanted to add the consistency, because I know many of us, like you say, we are dealing with a page, like, or 10 pages or 5 pages. You can. This is like a hack. We're not using, but I'm thinking we are gonna go right away and set it up, like calendarize your posts. You can just get a software. It's just online.
Yeah, I use Hero Post.
Hero Post,
Yeah.
yes. And
And
you just
have
put
Buffer,
there.
you have Hootsuite, you have
I just have a
Gravity.
piece of advice for that.
Yeah, like
I don't fully recommend that though, because the algorithm, the new one, picks up on it. And right now the algorithms is if you schedule it without scheduling, like you yourself put an alarm on your phone and post at that time. That's better than scheduling on the algorithm, because I mean they know, and they don't push those posts as much, because they're like, it's not a real person putting work, it's us. So yeah, so right as of 1 month now, schedule post. If you can skip them and have someone actually do them, basically everything's gonna come back to people doing stuff. Right. Kind of like what she was saying. She posts stories even though she doesn't love it, because people see like, okay, she got her phone. I see her recording the thing, and she did it right now, and she posted it. When the post, if you schedule them, they can be like, maybe it was a VA, maybe it was a bot, like. So that's not a really good. Basically, AI is super advanced now. We just don't know how much advanced they are. And the most smart AI in the board is TikTok. TikTok. I don't know if you know about the Chinese government. They invested billions and billions and billions of dollars since 4 years ago, because their goal is to be stronger than the U.S. by 2030. So you have 8 years, and they think that the way is through AI. So investing instead of the military, they're investing in AI. Which is why Trump knows this, and he wanted to ban TikTok, because basically TikTok has a better algorithm than anyone in the world, like the best algorithm in the world, and they're blowing up. That's why they're blowing up, and they're getting all these data from new users. So yeah, that's why Instagram is really worried about this, and they're like they're like 2 years behind TikTok. That's why they're pushing this like really hard so they can catch up, because TikTok's AI is super smart.
Yeah. Okay, don't schedule, but be consistent.
But set your calendar.
But be consistent, yeah.
Schedule yourself.
I do think like on some platforms, for example, like I do use it. I know it's not the best, but it's also what are your resources and what is your time,
exactly.
right? And my VA, for example, cannot the whole day post manually, for example. So you can choose, like let's say on LinkedIn.
And Facebook too.
I rarely post there manually. Well, sometimes I do, and it's more higher engagement. But the platforms where you're not so active on, you just have like exposure there, even though it's not the best. But people will see it. People keep on noticing it. Like I had nothing on LinkedIn, and now like my LinkedIn is pretty big, and also more for depends on what your audience is. But like I work with digital nomads, all like young entrepreneurs and stuff. But now more corporate and governments reach out to me for advice, like how do we do that? Attract more remote workers. So it's a different audience and new opportunities open when you also represent on these platforms.
And you have it scheduled on Twitter? Sorry.
No, I don't use Twitter at all.
On LinkedIn, you have it scheduled?
Yeah.
Like automated?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so at the very least, there's cool like connecting tools that certain platforms provide. Like on Instagram, if you link your Facebook page and your Twitter, when you post once on Instagram, it automatically goes to your other 2 pages.
Yeah.
This live stream that we're doing right now, StreamYard, posts directly to your Facebook page, your Facebook group, your Twitter page, or something else as well. Awesome. So we're streaming on 3 different channels, because different audiences consume differently. Some people just like pictures, some people just like words, some people will only watch videos, and some people will never watch videos. So delving and spending the time to discover where your demographic is, your segment, and speaking to them directly really, really can take your project to the next step in finding the support you need.
Yeah.
Okay.
One idea that really blew my mind, and I'm really grateful, is the possibility today through NFTs and technology that everybody that is involved in your project can do well. That's the way it should be. From volunteers, from friends, everybody should do well, financially, abundantly. And maybe I need to speak to you guys, because that's amazing. I love that. I love that, that's the way it should be.
I think that they're trying to I think Julia and Oscar, they've been trying to get us to talk for like last 2 weeks.
Yep. To create a little synergy here, right? With a team that can create a digital way to distribute the responsibility and the involvement with the project, with a beautiful land project that could use some support in people stepping in and being a part of it. The way that your vision is, Flo. So super beautiful to see these things coming together at these workshops.
Yes.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Any closing remarks? Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to sum up a little bit and bind all the different things that you said from a perspective, like a part of my role in the team is researching communities, putting them in the directory. So I could as well be a person that is interested in living in a community and look from the same perspective. So having an appearance on Instagram and really, this is what you said, like leaving a footprint, and for people to know that, okay, you're there and you're doing this, and you know, Flo, for example, for you, if people would go to Instagram once you start uploading, they would know, okay, they did a kitchen today, that's awesome, so it's going in a good direction. So this is a huge value, and this is this consistency that you're talking about, so people know that you're doing well and the project is going, because some of Instagram profiles have not been updated for 1 year, and then I go in there and I'm like, maybe something went wrong, maybe this community is not even existing anymore. So it's important to update that. And also having a person that would be responsible for marketing, ideally for each platform. What Oscar said, it would be a different person. Not all of us can work with such a bandwidth, so at least one person that would be a physical, because sometimes I have like custom questions, right? And also as a person that would be interested in living in a community or like connecting with you guys, you know, you have questions of different sorts, and you might not have time, or you know, you might not have a question answered in different places. So just have one person that would be there to answer questions, either it would be on WhatsApp, on Discord, and you know, just one-to-one, so people feel like they are taken care of as your clients, potential clients, you know, just people. So yeah.
Thank you.
Love it.
And one aspect that I believe is very important is also consider the philosophy behind your project. Super important. Like in my case, for example, I'm not doing this for money. I totally stepped out of my comfort zone. I was super comfortable in the mountains. Now I'm sleeping in a tent, super hot. It's like, what am I doing here? You know? But the only reason I'm doing this because the way she is, things like this, somebody needs to materialize these things. That's the change we need to see in the world, you know? And so just your philosophy, your motives, you know, like in my case, it's not money. I don't care. I just want to see this thing materialize, so, you know, the change we want to see in the world. Of course, money is going to follow, whatever, but that's not the main motive.
And so sharing this is one of the topics to share, purpose and goals. This is what speaks to people. It doesn't speak to people to say, hey, buy my pen. It speaks to people to say,
I want to help you write.
you know, share your story, buy my pen later, right? It's the purpose of why you're doing stuff. With Flow, it's not come stay in the jungle, it's experience nature rustically, or however, you know, you want to describe it. It's important to... Intimately, right?
Yes, that's right.
It's important to share the deep foundational things, and this really helps grow your community in an aspect. And then the one thing Paco said was tell your journey, share your journey. Don't be embarrassed if it's not perfect. One thing I love from the tech space is a saying that is, if you aren't embarrassed by your first version, you waited too long. So the key there is just go for it. Take your video and talk about what you're doing and share it and put it out there, because you'll probably find someone that's interested. Don't wait till it's perfect and put it off for a week and a month and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Technology moves too fast.
Yeah,
the world
exactly.
moves too fast, and you got to catch this wave and go with it.
Yeah, I was actually reading that, you know, market research is history. Cell phones, they don't do any market. There's no time.
Nothing.
No, there's no time. Time doesn't exist.
If it's gonna break, it's gonna break. We don't care.
Right, it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's important you say don't wait till it's perfect, because that happened to me, and you're missing your shots.
Yeah.
And also what you said, like here you're streaming on 3 different platforms. That's great. Whenever we do the Twitter Spaces, we're just missing to put there a camera and microphone, and we can do a YouTube video at the same time and a Spotify podcast. So it's
A lot
just
of people are using that. So Twitter, like I said, the algorithm of Twitter Spaces is great, but people, since there's no tools yet to other stream, they put the phone and then they record it.
And they just run it. Yeah. Yeah. Different channel, right? Audio only channels.
Yeah.
Like Green Room, like Clubhouse.
Like audio books.
Tons of stuff out there for everybody out there, for all the topics that are out there, right? Infinite variations. Different projects, similar worlds, different tools, different specialties, and that's what these days are about, right? It takes a tribe to build a tribe, and that's what the workshops here are about. Does anyone have any more questions? Closing topics? Anyone like to share?
Well, I just wanted to, invite everyone to just follow us and see for yourself what we've been up to, so you can follow the journey. And then whenever you see something that resonates and you feel ready to accept this new information, that, like he was saying, it's not our information. It's just like information from the 5D that is getting downloaded into this 3D, and it takes people like us up here and Oscar and like everyone to actually materialize it. So we're like the ones that bringing these downloads and feeling this energy that we want to do something, but we need like kind of human design. You know, the manifestors, the reflectors, we need a whole team to make this actually happen. So we're already in step 1, which talking about it, it's doing master plans, already started building, already started doing NFTs. But until that community joins, that's when we take it to step 2 all together. So like you see us up here, we're step 1, and that's why we're having these conversations. So invite you go all to come with us, and together we can go together into door number 2, which is building.
Yeah.
And what's door 3?
Door 3 is when we are living in financial
Celebrating
freedom.
at the community, throwing
Yeah.
NFTs at each other.
You're just you're basically all enjoying the abundance from that community that is not getting sucked on by the top percent, because it's getting it's
brother.
it's all there.
Say it. So get in the Discord, you guys. Everyone that joined today, if you didn't, we'll pass the QR code around. Do a little intro. We're gonna share everyone's Instagrams on there. Anything that interests you, it's a whole world in each one of these communities with resources and things you can learn and things that can take your project or idea to the next level. So thank you guys. Beautiful day. Thank you for sharing, each of you. Thank you everyone for joining today. And welcome to community life. This is what it's about, sharing ideas and supporting each other through these concepts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for joining. Join us next week as we talk
Building
about our next
together.
topic. Wait, before we go, stay.